And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we got Dion,
Good evening.
we got D Wolf,
Yo, yo.
we got Crystal,
Hola.
and introducing someone new on the panel, we have Jasmine.
Hey.
Tell them about yourself, Jasmine.
I am very opinionated and my opinions usually cause problems, so I'm just letting you guys know
Oh,
that
you'll fit right in.
I might shake the table a little bit,
You'll
but
fit
I
right in.
don't mean any harm.
Yeah. What Dion said, you'll fit right in. Okay. Since you're new and you've seen the topics, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you want to start?
We could start from the top one. Or you know what? We can start with the one that I mentioned to you, actually, the
Amina and Peter Guns thing?
Yeah, the boys wearing the ladybug costume.
Recording is on.
All right, Father done into the chat. How you doing, Father?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just woke up.
No way.
You sound like it.
You do sound like it. Father, we got a new person on the panel. This is Jasmine.
Welcome.
Okay, and we're going to be starting with Amina and Peter Gunn's Ladybug debacle. Have any one of y'all seen that?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to explain the situation. They was at a function. It was a pride function, and it was about what was it, Jasmine? Something about them torturing people to make them straight or something like that, or like doing electric shock. And throughout the whole thing, it was going well. And Amina blurted out that Peter Gunn did not want his son to wear a ladybug costume, and it started a big old ruckus between Amina, Bobby Lights, what was the dude named Kaz or something like that?
Yeah.
And I believe Jonathan, to where Peter Guns had to walk off and all that other stuff. So Jasmine, since you the one who brought this, how you feel about that whole situation going down?
Well, I feel like I guess I would say that it was wrong for her to bring that up at that setting, even though it was fitting for the topic. But people feel like because that wasn't her child, that it wasn't her place to say something. But I honestly feel like if all of you guys co-parent and take care of each other's children, and like she said, the little boy was crying so bad to her, I feel like if she has to deal with the little boy crying to her, then she should have the right to say something, especially if they are talking about a topic about trying to force your children to be a certain way or to not be gay by doing these certain things, like not letting them wear certain costumes or certain colors and stuff like that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I watched that, and probably because of that clip, I did think Amina was dead wrong. It was just the way she blurted it out to me, and it just didn't try to make him pin like he was like homophobic or something like that. When where everybody could see that he's not really homophobic, and he never really got the chance to really explain because Bobby Lights got real sensitive and started blurting out, and that's what really caught my eyes. Is just like, why are you getting real? I understand that, you know, some people, a lot of men in the LGBT, they kind of like always had to hide who they was depending on what life he had to live through. But I feel like he could have at least gave Peter Guns the chance to explain himself or why he didn't want his son in that ladybug costume. And you could tell like it was some type of pain there for Bobby because the way him and Cass was going at it, he thought it was between them, not really Peter Guns and all that stuff. But I kind of felt Peter Guns' anger too, because it's just like he's always been for the LGBT. He's just like you've always said that. It's just like the way she blurted it out is like you make him against him or something like that.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because it was like she was trying to get back at him or something for the stuff that he has done in the past. But I don't know. I feel like the bigger conversation was the things that parents, like how parents react to their little boys doing things that aren't supposed to be fitting for boys. And like their reactions to their sons doing things like playing with dolls and, getting kitchen sets and wearing certain costumes and colors, or even going further, like wearing heels and playing with their sisters and mama's clothes and stuff like that. Like with the guy Jonathan wasn't even that animated or that hurt during that conversation, but he was the one that actually went through that, what do they call it, electrotherapy, and the exorcisms that they try to do to like exorcise the gay out of their kids. So my question is, outside of the Love and Hip Hop reunion situation, what do you guys feel about parents trying to do these things to keep their kids from being homosexual?
Anybody want to answer that?
Honestly, I just think it's pure ignorance because we live in a society in which that kind of behavior isn't really like. I don't not saying that it's that people like aren't educated on it, but it's very polarized. It has a certain type of like view when you look at it. Like a lot of people still to this day think that like it's wrong for a little boy to be doing that type of thing. And I don't think it's a case of right or wrong. I just think every child is different. Some boys are going to be more feminine than others. Some girls are going to be more masculine than others. You know what I'm saying? Like it exists in a spectrum, but I think that right now people like even if people are educated about it, I don't think there's a lot of people that are willing to accept that type of thing for their children. And that just goes to show them that's on them and not the children themselves. Because, and I always bring this up because it always applies to every situation that I look at these things in. I'm going to bring it up. Mr. Miyagi, no such thing as bad student, only bad teacher.
I believe it. I agree with Father, but I also want to add. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to explain LGBT history to kids because from what they've been taught, especially in most Christian religions, just like it's a sin. Is very everything about it is gay. And then another reason and I think from a man's standpoint, when people think about gay men, they think of the feminine. It's like they don't look. I don't think they ever look at caste. They would look at, when you think of a gay man, you think of Bobby Lights, and I think a lot of men don't want. Sadly, a lot of men don't want their kids to be like Bobby Light or to emulate Bobby Lights. They want. I do feel like a lot of dudes want their kids to be like the macho man or like the lady getter or like this player, this type of player, and all that stuff. So I don't think a lot of them really know how to explain some stuff you see like that. Even like they're trying to put it in cartoons now, and a lot of people are just not accepting it because they feel like kids shouldn't be delegated to that. But I've always said they're going to see it in the streets. They're going to ask you, and what are you going to do when they see it in the streets? They ask you, are you going to just brush it to the side, or are you just going to give them an answer? So I
Yeah,
think
that's that conservative shit. Like that's that because there's a lot of pockets in America that is still very conservative, which means it's very like strictly family. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I come from a country that's literally that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're conservative as hell when it comes to like our family traditions and values and things like that. So when it comes to LGBT stuff, that stuff is like a no-no just because of how like we have framed the narrative and how our culture is. It's the very same thing that you see in a lot of areas in America. So I don't think it's going to be 100% there when you're talking about acceptance of LGBTQ. There's always going to be someone that's against it just because of that particular type of worldview. Not only that, but it's an ancient worldview. Like entire religions have said homosexuality bad, but at the same time though, like there's going to be people that are either going to be with something or against it. And when it's that black and white, you really can't get mad at the people who oppose it because they're letting you know that they oppose it. It may be short-sighted, it may be ignorant, it may be wrong as hell, but at least you know where that particular person stands. So why is there so much effort in finding out why these people don't particularly like a certain thing instead of focusing that energy, like you said, Ray, mess with the people that mess with you. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like it's productive for people to sit around and start asking questions why when it's deliberately right there in front of you.
Right.
Me personally.
The way that I feel about this topic, and I'm a mother myself, a mother of 4, I think that the way that some people handle it is very disrespectful. We live in a society right now that a lot of things are being pushed on kids, like pronouns and other foolishness, in my opinion. That parents now that have phobias are going to be very high strung and very, they're not trying to hear the aspect of why they feel that. They're not even trying to figure out why they feel that way about their son or daughter when they do a particular thing gender oriented by society. So we have to take heed to why a particular parent feels a certain way. And, I personally, if I had an opinion about another parent doing something where the child is my child's friend, another child is my child's friend, and I would pull the parent to the side and I'm like, okay, I need to know why. But I still do need to be respectful because of the way society creates certain stuff like little knives. Should I say more? I mean, that's the last thing you want your child to watch if you don't participate in that community. And then if you don't want your child participating into that community until they're adults make their own decision, you are blasphemed, you are put on the cross, and that's not right. You don't know what's going on in my head if I was to portray that kind of thing for my kids. So I just think it's a respect factor that's out here, and that's my opinion on the matter.
For me, I'm a live and let live person. I really don't care about sexual identity and if you're gay or not. But when it comes to children, I tend to I'm a time and place type of person. So if we're dealing with a child, like anything else, I'll keep it. If I have a boy, I'll keep things male orientated. If I have a girl, I'll keep things girl orientated when it comes to like purchasing toys and what they play with, things of that nature, what they watch. But if they so choose and they have questions, if things come up in real life, I'll adjust accordingly. If they have questions about, I heard this thing in school about what does gay mean and things like that, then I'll explain it and then be like, okay, but when you become older, you'll have a better understanding. But I'll tell you what I can right now, but this is how it is. You're a girl, this is how it goes. You're a boy, this is how it goes. And as they get older, as they develop, however they seem to go, then I'll adjust accordingly. Like, okay, if the boy if he's going this way with it, if he wants to go with the female route, then okay, I'll adjust to that. But I'm not gonna like force feed it and make it seem okay, because I don't want to cause any confusion. Because they're gonna see me myself, I'm a straight man, so that's what they'll see. That's what they're gonna get. So I'm gonna make it, because this part is normal. So if they want to go to that other route, like I said, I'll adjust accordingly. Because really and truly, they don't lose any love from me, whichever way they choose. But I'm not going to allow confusion onto it.
Wait,
Xavier,
I have a question.
Yeah,
what was
up?
the topic?
It was about you seen the whole thing between Amina and Peter Guns and the whole Ladybug thing?
Oh, the Ladybug. Okay.
Xavier, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Anyone out of Material Life of Xavier, we was just talking about the whole Ladybug thing, and I would like your thoughts on it. If either one of you.
I honestly, I don't even know what that is about.
I saw the little clip.
I didn't see it yet.
So I guess they were the stylist was doing a Pride, explaining exactly like his story of exactly how he came out and not having like love for his family. Then Amina just jumps out of nowhere talking about Peter. I guess his son wanted to be a ladybug, and he told his son that he can't wear the ladybug outfit because it's for girls. And his son was like, "Oh, okay." And but Mina, she tried to make it seem like, like he was like, like a gay phobia or something. And
Homophobic.
yeah. And he was like, it was not even like that because, Peter is like in the society now. You cannot like, speak negative or ill. So he don't want that to ruin his job, things that he do. And it just turned so crazy over something that was so small. And then Amina was like, "Well, you did that to me during the whole time I was, on the season. You made me look stupid. So now, I'm back. This is for you." So it wasn't even truly in regards to the ladybug anymore. It became her just being vindictive. So for me, I'm
Okay.
like, I don't
You can
the
give your opinion
I
first.
I, ju- I don't even understand the whole like thought process right now in regards to like like gender specific like outfits and clothes, and like as a kid like they don't even pay attention to these, like even as a girl growing up as a child, like I acted more tomboyish than anything. It wasn't because I wanted to be a boy. It was just more comfortable. Like, and then Ladybug isn't like, more girls probably like wear ladybug outfits and stuff, but a ladybug isn't just like a female or a male.
But
So
it is a thing where it is feminine to be a ladybug, just like a bumblebee. Even
mhm.
though bumblebees, there's no sexiness to it, there's no girliness to it, but for some reason, a boy really can't be a bumblebee. You know what I mean?
But why is it feminine for a boy to dress up as an insect?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, and I'm talking for myself, as a person who knew that they were gay since they were age 5. Yes, age 5. You could test me. I don't care. We can go back and forth on the side. I knew I was gay because I've always liked boys. I was never confused. I have a straight father and a straight mother. My father is military. I didn't was never introduced into gay anything. My parents let me watch whatever I wanted and let me do whatever I wanted. I grew up playing with dolls and playing with trucks. I wanted to be a train conductor. I wanted to be a fashion designer. All of that. I watched Sex in the City and Ally McBeal, and I also was watching train stuff and uh anime and G.I. Joe and all that. That's how I grew up. And so when I wanted to dress a certain way or if I wanted to play with something, I'm sure my father had a bit of a back thing to it, but my mother was like, "No, you're not telling my fucking son he can't do anything he wants. If he wants to play with this, let him play with it. He's a child." And that's another thing too. Like sometimes boys, they'll be playing, and as soon as they see them pick up a doll to play a role with their cousin or something, it's a problem. And I know Peter Guns is saying one thing, but we don't really know how or what he was saying. So he probably could have been like, you're not wearing that shit. That shit's for girls." But he can just be fronting for the camera because a lot of men do stuff like that. They're like, hell no, my son is not gonna be doing this. My son's not gonna be playing with that. I said, but you don't know because one, you either don't have a child yet, or your child is not of age where they're gonna start being combative and not even combative, but just start really testing the waters and telling you, no, I'm going to dress like this or I'm going to do this, and you're not going to tell me anything. Because we are in a different world and a different society in this time of age, and I think people need to realize that it's people have always been gay and people always been doing little stuff like this, and it is nothing new. There is no such thing to me as introducing nobody into no gay stuff, then all of a sudden they're turning gay. If you're gay, you're gay. If you're not, you're not. Because I've been watching people, men and women, kiss for I don't know how fucking long, and I'm still not straight.
Mm-hmm. Question for you or for all of you. How do you feel about homophobic people when they ask the question, do you believe that any of our ancestors were gay?
People
I've
ask that.
never
They
I
were,
went to the art institute with some of them here, and that's one of the questions I've never heard.
but
I've never heard that
it
question
had,
ever in
Me
life.
neither.
I
but
hear that
the,
question often, and
it,
answering it to me is ridiculous because I'm like, you think homosexuality is something that just started within the past few hundred years or something? Like,
Okay,
I'm not
it was,
sure how
but
to
it was
answer that
also in the
question.
Bible, so it's not like it just started. It's been around forever.
but not even
It's
that.
just
It's
People
normal. It's
swear up
like
and down that
midgets
in
exist.
Africa there's no gay people. I'm like, sweetie,
there
what?
is. They just
I
back in the
can
days they just
personally.
couldn't say out loud, but because they would get crucified or killed or
Okay,
something
and
like that.
killed.
But
Like, come
it
on.
So I
Ugh.
have a question when y'all done.
I just
Well,
want to quickly say that I can confirm that they are indeed homosexuals in Africa,
oh yes. Same with Saudi Arabia.
Everywhere.
especially
Oh
Saudi
man.
Arabia.
And they will sit there and act like they're not. And that's I can't take
Ooh.
it.
What you think they got all that money for?
That's why.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
What's your question,
I'm just
Crystal?
saying.
it was
You
the
said enough.
that took me out.
So influences,
So I'm just saying, nigga, you said enough.
influence on gayness.
What's that, Crystal?
Sorry, y'all. Influences on gayness. If it's no influences, right? Would you say that say if a child got now this is gonna get a little dark, so let me know to stop if it's just getting too much. Say a child of 5 years old and up gets molested by a man, and this is a boy. Now they're insecure, they don't have a chance to really, they're just fucked up in the head. And they end up just saying, okay, well, I've been molested from age 6 to 15. And now they think they like, but mentally they're fucked up. Would you say that that has an influence on gayness?
That question actually takes me back to a conversation we had on here. Um, I I think it was back in like October, November, something like that, and we were talking about how there's a lot of homosexuals with that backstory of how they were, you know, raped, molested, and XYZ. But honestly, I don't think that makes them. Um, I don't think that triggers anything in them just because there are victims who were there are victims of rape and molestation and all of that who they're still perfectly straight.
No, I've watched. There was a documentary about like a priest who had raped a bunch of boys and everything, and a few of the boys did say like that, because they've been going through that for so long that at this point, like they're like they that's like their preference now. So like it really just depends on the person. Some people that can happen to them, and they can never look at a normal man the same way, or some people it can trigger something, and so it's like you can't really explain everyone's personality and things that might trigger them and that might cause them to,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
for a girl it might be different for girls and stuff, things that might trigger, and it might be different for a guy, things that might trigger, so we don't know exactly like the full scope of like unless we sit there and like look at everybody like pathway throughout life and genetics and everything else and see if that could have been like something that was embedded in the genetics, like if something happens to them and then it automatically sticks to them and they become like this way because of that. So it's like you just don't know. Each personality is different. Each things that can happen to somebody can cause it, because there's females who's been raped their whole life and by family members, and they still love dudes and still want to be in relationship with guys and everything. They've been raped their whole life. Some people just never want to see a dude anymore. They can't see a relationship with a dude because of that thought process. So I don't. It just everyone is
Yeah.
different.
We have discussed trauma on here before, and we have discussed, grooming as well. So, yeah, what you're saying is valid.
Because like for females, I feel like it's harder for guys growing up versus females, like in regards to like the Peter Gunn situation, because girls get away with a lot of like mixed matching between like gender roles and everything, and it's not like looked at crazy. Like a girl can go to school like as a tomboy for her whole life, and no one like say anything crazy to her. But like if a boy
For
starts
real.
wearing like a dress to school for like a whole week or so, well, it
Like,
might
you
be
know, it don't
shunned
even have
at,
to be a dress.
but
It could
like
be the jeans are too tight.
no, because nowadays you can wear jeans all day long, so they
No,
wouldn't
Because
be.
when
They
I was
wouldn't
in
no.
even.
high school, let your jeans
Not
be
during
too
the
tight.
baggy jean era.
Right.
Not during that baggy jean era.
And this is
Right.
just 2008, 2009. And let your jeans be too fucking tight. If you're not a skater, why is your jeans that tight? You're a
Mm.
fag. Like, okay.
It also depends on where y'all was raised
I
because
haven't heard that word
That's
in a
what I
while.
was about to say. I think it's about culture at that point.
even though like yeah, I was around the back.
Hmm?
I
Yeah,
was around.
no.
Hold on. I was around the back, like during the baggy jeans and everything else, and you washing them. But like all the school I went to, like we had like all types of kids. Like it was mostly white kids, but it was like all types of kids, and so it was normal to see like black kids or like people wearing like tight jeans. It was normal to see like you have like the little Irish kids that's wearing like skirts, which is kilts and stuff, but. I don't know. It just depends on where you was
Yeah,
like raised. Because
it
like if I
definitely
went to
does.
hood school, they probably would have clown homeboy or like threw him in
Exactly.
the like he wouldn't be
Exactly.
safe.
Because let me tell you right now, in New York, I'm from East Flatbush. Let you walk around looking too feminine in tight jeans. I'm telling you, them Jamaicans will have so much shit to say, and their jeans are tighter than mine. But because it's sagging a little bit, and they have that Jamaican swag, and they talking all that fucking patois shit, all of a sudden, it's all right for them though. And it's like it's small stuff that black people in school you couldn't do. Mm-mm. You couldn't do
Okay.
because you
Well,
would
if
get
You
it's
gotta
ripped
slow
on.
2008,
down.
you
That's a
definitely wouldn't
culture
have had
thing,
the gender neutral
and they don't
bathrooms
want to get
because
mixed up with that. I know there are some who are bigots because I've grown up amongst them, and like I said, I'm not like that. But that's more of a culture thing than just a hateful thing
Yeah,
because
I
they don't want to
agree.
get
Wait,
mixed
what you
up and
said?
be like,
What's
"Oh,
the
this is
culture
what
thing
you're."
versus a what?
The tight pants, because me myself, I didn't even like it. Like the tight
No, I
pants
don't
and
think
thing. Like I
maybe.
didn't even.
I
It
don't
had
think
nothing to
maybe
do with
y'all
being
didn't go
gay or
to like
anything.
a school with ignorant ass Negroes, but I'm like I don't know because them schools. I mean, if your jeans was tight as a gay person, and especially as a gay person, you were ragged on,
That is true.
and you were
I want.
ragged on all the
Even if you're
time.
straight,
You
No,
wearing
that's super true
you
because
couldn't get
even if
away
you
with that. Even
dance
if you're
too
straight.
much, yeah,
well,
like
no,
even if
yeah, but
you
a lot
dance
of
And that
times
too
the
was
much,
straight
always
guys
the,
were
and that's the
wearing it.
thing that was always used as an insult too, because that was the best way to like
The
they'll try
only
to find
straight boys I
the
knew with
harshest way
pants
to
tight
insult
like
you for
that were the
doing it. So
skaters.
they use gay
hmm
as the
Only
best
the
insult
skaters
they can
had tight
give.
pants, and that's it.
Which made sense because they skate.
Right.
Or they was following Lil Wayne
And they love
because
ripped
Lil Wayne
pants
was
too.
because Lil Wayne was
That,
wearing the
Shout
tightest pants.
which I will
shout out to
remind you, that was
Weezy.
one of the strangest times of hip hop I
Shout out
ever
to
seen.
Weezy.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Weezy, but that shit was weird. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Definitely
they
Q
shout out
they
to
Reed.
try to
Weezy.
say my Adidas Panda sneakers from Jeremy Scott was ugly and it's gay, this and that. And I roast their ass back. All of a sudden, here goes Lil Wayne on TV at the BET Awards with the fucking bears on. Now all the boys want them. I said, look at you.
Hey, it was a dude
it's a
in
mess.
school
What I say about
that I met.
entertainers, yo?
Ray remember. Ray remember. It was a boy in our class that used to wear really tight pants and always wear like the Jeremy Scotts with all the tails and different animals and stuff on them.
Yeah.
And then
This
had
shit
the
was
nerve
terrible.
to try. I think one of the boys was oh my god, what was his name? He's from Anacostia.
Yeah,
And he
I
used to
know what
wear
you're
the
talking about.
colorful ones. And I'm like, how you
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
try to go hard wearing poodles?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Wow.
also you also got to remember the only people who was wearing tight pants were people who were gay. So that's what people assume like, oh, if you're gay, you have to be gay to be wearing tight pants. So when they saw Lil Wayne or Kanye was still questionable to a lot of people when he first came out. But when you
Nah,
saw like
people was
Lil
rocking.
Wayne,
Nah, people was rocking pink polos. Cameron
Yeah,
had the
but
pink.
the thing is, they were
Cameron had
still.
the pink chinchilla, and niggas ain't say
But
nothing to
that's
Cameron. That
different.
nigga
But
had
that's
pink
different.
Still
Th-
a,
You
that's
know
what I'm
that's
trying to
different,
say.
right.
Like, you got to remember, like,
Right.
once you see Lil Wayne, who is what they consider to be a normal straight guy wearing tight pants, or you see some people who are normal straight guys wearing things that naturally people used to always assume as being just for gay people. It was like, okay, that's when the thought process started to evolve and they started to change and
right?
realize, oh, okay, they can wear this now. And the whole concept of you bashing someone just because they're wearing that didn't work no more. And it was like, well, what's his name
Exactly.
wearing it? So it
Exactly,
was,
because a lot of boys wanted to do stuff like that, but they scared because of their peers in their family. You know how many boys used to go up to me and ask me how to rock Doc Martens, but in a straight way, because they like Doc Martens so much, but they know that people gonna think. And then they used to tell me people gonna think I'm gay, or I don't want people thinking I'm gay for wearing Doc Martens. 'Cause at the time, a lot of like gay people and white
Wait,
people was wearing Doc Martens, and I'm just like, are you serious right now?
wait a minute. So they're asking
I
about
don't get. Sorry.
I don't
they're
understand
insulting
how a
you by
Doc
saying they
Martin
don't want to
could.
look like you. Okay.
They
But I
want to
knew
look
how they
like
meant.
you,
I
but
knew what
not
they
look
meant,
like
so
you.
it wasn't. I wasn't upset because I know what they were saying. They're
you
like,
know, let
I
me
don't want to look gay in Doc Martens. How can I rock?
Nope.
let me
But
tell
X
you
X is
when
a different
I would
fry
have to
anyway.
say, like, the world realized, like, dressing, because that whole baggy jeans, I mean, long white tee, that era was not cool.
At
Like, it was
all?
just
And
not
that
it.
that is that's a golden era in our lives.
I understand.
Is
Golden
that
era
No,
of a
I
mess.
understand, you wear like a nice fitted jean and stuff like that with a regular, button up, but that jersey dress, aka white
Okay,
tee, was not it.
not at
Like,
all. It was a
I mean,
fucking mess.
Call them gowns.
it was. I
but
understand now that
it,
we
but
look
it
at it.
was,
Look now
I
that
don't
we
know,
look
like
at
there
it,
was
it
a
was
show that
terrible.
used to be on TV called Queer Eye for the Gay Eye, and they used to take guys and they used to, like, revamp them and dress them up properly, how they can look to function in society. And it was like, that's when people realized, like, looking good, even though, like, they would say, like, oh, you look, it was like the gay fashion, because gay guys was always dressing nice and they was always looking good. They look good, they smell clean, they can walk anywhere. Not saying, like, straight guys wasn't looking clean and stuff like that, but they was all in this, like, dope boy era, and it was just not. It was like, oh my gosh, when y'all gonna get out of this?
It's the fad of the time, man. Because it
Your
wasn't like
white
that in the
tee.
70s. Everybody had tight jeans in the 70s and shit. It just
Exactly.
depends. It's like,
And I don't
it's what
understand how we
entertainers
strayed
do.
off
We
from
emulate.
style.
It's what's in. And some people don't want to move with it. And those who get left behind or want to try something different, they're going to
It
get caught off
was,
for it
man,
because of who's
70s
already
and
in.
80s. Motherfuckers was wearing a lot more than
That's
just the tight
that's the
jeans and
greatest.
stuff.
Those are the greatest fashion eras ever.
For real, because men used to really look very flamboyant especially in the 80s,
And
and they were
Shoot,
straight
like
as
and
all
the
like
more
get
Charlie
out.
Murphy
the
used to
more
say, the dude that looked more like a woman was getting all the pussy.
I'm about to say the
That's why
more
it's called
the more
glam rock
the more
back in the
woman they
day.
would say.
Glam
I'm telling
rock.
you, Prince is unstoppable. Prince
Everybody was glamorous in
Prince
the
is
80s.
at a level we can never reach because he was
Can
able
we
to do
go back
that
to the
in what he
80s?
wore.
Shit.
Not with
Prince was the
cocaine. I
walking
don't know.
definition of no fucks given. He just
Because Prince could fuck your bitch. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he could
that's
fuck
true.
his,
No, let me
He
tell you
definitely
something.
was fucking
he
a
could
whole
fuck
lot
his
of
Bruh.
them.
and outslayer. How did you
Bro,
fuck?
metrosexuality is powerful, all right?
How did
That
you
was
Prince was
the
fuck a bitch?
prime example.
I'm
Prince
trying
was
to
in
figure
them
out how
guts.
Was.
I'm trying to figure out how Prince went through as many women as he went through, and they had not near a child.
How do you take
Well,
Or
no,
shine.
a
Prince
man's woman?
has always taken good care of himself. Like he
How do
was
you
always
take a
talking about
man's
holistic
woman
health and
and
shit
then
like that.
outdress her? Like that's like you just stunning on both of them at the same time. Like so, you take the man's woman and then you take her home, and then the next day you outdress her on the way out the door. Like that's not cool.
Stop. Well, he
Like
doesn't have children, right?
No.
Prince ain't had no kids.
Yeah, well,
He
he
was
was
he was
married
married to
to.
two different women that I
Yeah, he
can
was
figure on
married
the
to
top of my head.
Mai Tai, whatever her name was. But they did get pregnant, but unfortunately the child didn't make it. So
Oh,
that's why he doesn't have any kids. He was supposed to have one.
But Prince is a fashion icon.
Yes, for
Like
sure.
he made decisions that I wouldn't dare think of.
But what about the boys that wear fingernail polish? They feel like fingernail polish for guys is starting to become more
I don't
acceptable.
like it.
I
I
don't
just
You
don't
don't
like it
like
like
it.
it?
either.
It's tacky. I just think it's tacky.
But the reason, let me tell you, the boys are trying to, especially those in the little, like, they're trying to do that goth hip hop stuff.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's that trend where they get the black and the blue nail polish and like
Mhm.
make it look like it's chipping off the nails. And I'm like, what is this look?
It's tacky.
You know what I
It's
think it
so
is?
ugly.
I think they just want to fit in. It's not even about being, like a goth or anything like that. I think they've come to this understanding that there's a society that if you get them on your side, you win. And so a lot of them are putting these nail polish on and they're doing all this extra stuff, and it's just like it don't even seem like them. It just seems so forced, and it's like, really.
Yeah, because it don't even go with how they act. They
Mm-hmm.
just have on black
Exactly.
nail polish. I'm like, but you're rapping, talking about
Guns. I don't.
It doesn't fit.
Is
It doesn't
that
fit.
fingernail polish or gun residue? Like, don't confuse me.
That's why, like,
That
sometimes
shit.
they
That
try
shit's
to
a
do the
glitch in
little
the
Uzi
matrix.
Vert. I'm like, no, let him do it.
No, it's this. The entire rap industry has been a bunch of online characters for Grand Theft Auto. Like, it's
Thank
just
you.
a bunch of the same bullshit. They just look different, different hair. They all do the same shit. Like, it's
Thank you.
weird as fuck. This shit is getting
The
overbearing.
only thing I could think about is from Boondocks.
Yes, absolutely.
With the dress?
Once again,
Yes.
they told the future. Homies
That's the
over
only thing I
hoes.
could think of, that scene from Boondocks, and I'm cracking up
Which scene in particular are you talking about?
with
The joint when Gangsta Listen was modeling all them clothes, and it was like the one of them had the long T-shirt with the back out, and the other one just had a really tight cross-chop shirt and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
hey, and my man Riley was rocking that crop top with the purse too. And he had the open toe
that's
sandals.
exactly what it looks like. I'm like, really? Does this make sense to y'all? Like, these artists at this point in time, I don't even know what art they making anymore.
They're
Homies
not.
over hoes.
I
Homies
cannot
over
stand today's
hoes.
music at all.
Homies over hoes. Homies
He
over
said
hoes.
they not.
Do the whole way. Do the
For real,
whole
like, look at
way.
music videos. Music videos are not even hot
They're
anymore.
not good. Yeah, they're not
No,
good.
oh my goodness.
They're not
I
good.
miss.
All the girls pussy out, all the dudes
Listen,
child.
don't get me started.
Hey,
I
did
get
y'all
so
see?
annoyed.
This is a
Hold on,
reason
did y'all
why
see Meg and Shinsia's music video Lick?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God. What?
That shit was trash.
I'm
You
so
talking about making
tired
new
of
song
seeing
with that
Megan's
Jamaican chick?
booty.
that
At this
Yes.
point, I'm
was
Yeah, I seen
exhausted
that
trash.
shit.
from it.
This is why I hold Missy Elliott to the highest standard when it comes to female rap, because she has shown every ounce of creativity there is. Her music is good, her lyrics are good, her videos are beyond great. It's no way I can't stand the shit that I see today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they really
my
don't
Amen.
give
standards are very
Missy her
Amen.
credit.
I'm sorry.
They
That's
really
why I
don't.
have I don't care what anybody say. That's why I have the utmost respect for the baby. Because as much as his music might sound the same, his videos are very entertaining.
Yeah, they are.
True.
It ain't
His
him.
videos
It's the art director.
something gives me a laugh. It's even though it's kind of cheesy sometimes, it shows some type of
Creativity.
Like he's not Busta Rhymes, but you're going in the right direction per se. So there's some type of respect, but everybody else shit is just them rapping in front of a car. Probably got some money. Probably showing a bunch of people with chains. You get a close up on the chain. You get a close up on somebody with their grill. You get a close up with somebody on a watch. You probably show somebody popping the bottle. You probably show somebody shaking their ass on a pole.
And
with
then
the
a little
lights
bit of
dimmed
lean.
a little bit, with a little bit of lean. You probably see a little bit of more money. Then you're gonna see a guest rapper who's not on the song, but somehow he's in the video with the rest of them. Somebody got a gun some fucking where, and then the video is gone. The shit is the same every fucking time.
Yo, not to mention Not to mention the effects give you epileptic seizures and
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. It's a bunch of changed
The
lights,
shaky
different
cam and the
angles. The
fucking.
angles and lights don't fucking match. The video concept don't match. The beginning of the video started you robbing the bank with a girl, and then all of a sudden you in the middle of a parking lot doing a rap song and shit. Like, no, that don't make no fucking sense. Like, keep the fucking video going. Make this shit interesting. Like when Biggie's last video had Diddy driving a car backwards, running from people. Like, that was amazing. Where's the creativity at? This shit is getting lame as hell.
Not everyone can be hype range.
Bro,
I'm
my
not telling
You
favorite.
know,
everybody to be
but
hype
Little
range, but
Nas X is very like he is good at being like creative and like getting people to talk. Like
Yes, but at the same time, I find him to just be attention seeking, and
Thank
I
you.
don't
Thank
find
you.
him to
Yeah,
be
see, I was gonna say
really
the thing with Lil Nas X is he knows how to
artsy.
serve controversy.
Finally.
That's Lil Nas X's deal. He
I
knows how
I've
to
been waiting
serve
for X to get
controversy.
on his ass. Get on
and
his
I
ass,
love
X.
it.
I'm
Get on his
like,
ass, X. I've been waiting.
I love a
Go ahead.
toxic creativity. Like
I don't
it
mind, so I don't care because I don't listen to his music. It's like I've been waiting for someone gay to come out and like represent, and I just find that he does sometimes too much just to be in the spotlight. And I'm like, all right, bro, like, okay, dance with the devil, this and that. But it's like, why is it that every time it's something with us gays, we gotta be blowing somebody, having sex with somebody,
Yeah, that's a good point.
popping our ass and stuff like that? I'm like,
That's a
why
very
can't it
good
just
point.
be we talking about a guy, but it's it don't have to be down that route.
Hey,
Because
I never thought that gay men had the same like issue that like some women have, that they're tired of seeing women only being portrayed as one fucking
oh
thing.
no, there's a lot of us who talk like that because we're like, not all of us do all that. Like,
Yeah, I do agree. I just
That's a
that
fact.
was one of those that it's just that's why I fuck with you, X, because you don't hold back, bro. And that's the first time I've actually heard somebody really address that in a way where they're like they're not okay with it. Because
and everyone's always like, "Oh, you like Lil Nas X that bad?" I'm like, actually, no. I said, I'm not really a fan, and it's no shade to him. He don't know who I am, so I know he don't care. But it's just like, I just feel like he just does a bit much, and I just wanted him to scale it back a little bit. But I like some of his stuff, but at the same time, I like Provocateur because I love Madonna. But in my opinion, I just felt like Madonna's wasn't forced because it's never been done.
Right.
Him, it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I like he's doing too much for nothing.
It's because you're in the community, like, okay, it's too much. It's how we feel about when we see girls popping they like, girl.
Okay.
If you give me one more twerk video, if you give me
Listen.
like, I understand, hot girl summer, summer coming around, everybody trying to, jump on it. But like at one point, like, can y'all girls wear a business outfit? Like, can y'all
girl,
girls
okay?
Like, do y'all know what it looks like to be like, like a boss bitch instead of
or even just
stripper?
fabulous, like just look fierce.
Yeah,
everybody does not need a BBL. Everyone
I'm
does
so
not
tired
need
of those. I'm so tired of those
burgeoning
hips. I hate those 3 letters so bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Damn.
Yes, bro. I'm so sick of that. I'm sick of that. Is bruh.
And I'm sick of
I
Amazon.com
BBL
cheap
more
ass
than
dresses.
I hate IRS at this point.
Not
Xavier.
Amazon.com. I'm done.
Those dresses are getting on my nerves, huh?
Like I would rather hear IRS than I hear BBL at this point. Like
I don't want to hear IRS at all.
I could deal with IRS.
Right. Fuck them niggas.
It's too many BBLs going around. I could deal with IRS.
Xavier, remember like a while ago in the whole podcast when we was talking about Meg and your whole concept was, does she do something else?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's funny because when he said that, it's coming into fruition now because it's like, I know she has other talents, but I've been saying this. I said lately, all I've been seeing is her shaking her ass in random places.
And
It is
she'll
just
have
like,
some random places, and then you'll see her
But
taking a
now
picture
she's
with her
doing a
boyfriend.
lot of ad campaigns and a lot of commercials, which I'm so happy for because I'm like, yeah, girl, stop. Like I'm like, I don't even know your music. I just know you for shaking your ass.
And I think she
That's sad.
has really good talent for like rapping and stuff. I just when you open the video at this point, I can't even watch the video or hear her songs. I'm just like, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Megan doesn't give me personality. Like
Oh,
Mhm.
I like I
listen to
don't
her
know.
old shit.
Like
Listen to
okay,
her old
like
shit.
I for instance,
The
like okay, like I could see like if Cardi B never came back to rap, I would still be entertained by her because she has a personality that is like
it's too
that
much.
makes people want to like gravitate towards it. I don't
It's
know
too
Megan.
much. Child, it's too much.
I mean, some people. I mean, yeah, it's too much, but you know, sometimes it's like how y'all feel. Like it's the way women feel about Cardi B. Sometimes is how we feel about Lil Boosie. Sometimes we like, come on, Boosie, that was too much. But we're still gonna watch it. We still gonna watch it. We
That's
not
a
gonna
weird
not watch it.
comparison, but I get it.
You know what I'm saying? We not. Yeah, it's like we not
That's
gonna
a weird ass
not watch
comparison,
it.
but I understand it.
Like
No,
we
it
not
makes a
gonna
lot of
not.
sense because Boosie is on shrooms in the car driving with his
Hey,
leg up,
that is
pumping the
amazing. That
steering
was
wheel.
amazing.
And then you'll have Cardi B on her live with Offset, and Offset is like basically banging her from the back doggy style with their clothes
Yeah,
on.
with clothes
And
on.
it's
Like
like,
they don't give
bruh,
a
like
fuck.
why are y'all on the internet doing all of this?
Exactly. And no, okay, for Boosie's sake, Boosie has been through a lot, and he like Boosie
Bye.
been through a lot, and he's like he survived cancer, so it's different with him.
Bye.com.
Like he's living a
First,
life. Even though
That's
Boosie
Boosie,
because
act
you survived some shit that don't give you the right to act an ass.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes
yeah, but
acts
that gives
like
you more
he's
incentive to live your life with a little bit more discretion. That's all I'm
yeah,
saying.
that's how that.
no
I mean,
Boosie
yeah,
acts
Boosie
like
act
see,
he's
like
80
but
years old.
you
and he
talking
act
that
like
to a
DL
man.
Trade. Good night.
Y'all talking about a man. Y'all talking about a man.
Wait, say that
Y'all
again.
talking about a man who's
Say that
5
again.
years
Oh, hold on,
ago.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Say it again, Xavier.
I
Say it
said,
again.
I'm not sure. I forgot her name, but she said that Boosie acts like he's 80 years old, and I said Boosie sometimes acts like a DL Trade because he's too fucking worried about gay people, and he needs to stay his straight ass and funky ass AIDS Atlanta and shut the fuck up because I don't understand why he always got something to say.
But see,
Ooh, he
men
did
like him
not
don't
say
make sense to
Atlanta.
me
Oh Lord.
because they're worried about not putting
Damn, that
sexuality
shit
on their
was
kids, but then
legendary.
you're a grown man who
AIDS
hires a
Atlanta.
grown woman to have sex with your
Okay,
13-year-old children. So are you really worried about people pushing sexuality on your kids? Or are you just worried about them,
okay. First
you
of
know?
all, I'm like, sweetie, please. He's too worried about gay people. I'm just like, oh my
Hold
god,
on,
grow
hold on,
up.
hold on,
Talk
hold
about
on,
something
hold on,
else.
hold on, hold on, hold on,
Oh,
hold
this
on.
about to get real.
Hey, hold on. Forget on that. AIDS Atlanta.
Oh my god.
That shit was
Don't
amazing.
don't open that up because we don't
Oh
need them
no,
problems.
no.
Let's
Okay.
act like we did not
Y'all
hear
is.
that
Hey,
and
let
let's
me tell
keep
you
it
something.
moving.
Let me tell you something. When
This
it
is
comes
being
to
recorded.
mail,
Just don't act like
when
we
it
didn't hear
comes
shit.
when it comes to mail that comes at my door, I am going to open it because it is officially at my door. Thank you, Xavier, for dropping that off at my door. Damn.
You-
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm
Nah, it's
over
all
talking
good.
about him.
This is
I'm
the
not
great.
giving him
This
no
is the
more.
best place to do. This is the best place to do it.
Hold on. We can get to it another time. We got other topics. So, any
Yes,
last
Exactly.
words?
because
Yeah.
there's a topic on here that I want to talk about.
Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
I hope it's what I think you. What I think you. Okay.
Xavier, which is the topic you want to talk about?
Whoopi Goldberg, because I'm upset.
Okay,
Oh
good,
yeah,
because that
let's
was my
go.
next. Good, because that was my next topic.
Good.
All right, for those who still watches The View, Whoopi Goldberg was suspended for 2 weeks for saying wrong and hurtful statements about the Holocaust. And
What did she say
This
exactly?
suck.
Basically, that the Holocaust wasn't based off of race; it was based off of pure hatred.
Man's inhumanity to man. That's her words.
I wish she would have worded it differently and said,
Yeah,
instead of
Can't
saying
wait.
man's inability to man, I wish she would have said it's man's inability to be humane.
Yeah, man's inhumanity to another man. That's what she said.
Okay.
Xavier, since you excited about this, I want you to go first.
It really upset me because I love Whoopi Goldberg. I watch The View literally every day, and it really upset me that they suspended her and made it seem like she said something so wrong and so insensitive. But being Jewish is not a race.
Exactly.
Say it one more time.
But
Woo.
I
Yo, I
understand.
was screaming
They
that
said
shit
back
to myself.
then
Oh my
that
god.
that Jews were an inferior race. But at the end of the day, they are not a fucking race.
It's a religion.
Thank
It's a
you.
religion.
It's a religion.
And they were both fucking white.
Oh my god, somebody with some common fucking
But
So
that's the
I
same
love
thing that they
this.
try to do to Irish
I
people.
don't
They
have one-
understand
want to
what she
prove that they
said.
were white
was wrong.
What
when all of
exactly?
y'all are white.
It wasn't wrong.
It was not about race.
It was never about race.
Because what's his name? What's Hitler's dumb fucking self wanted to kill people with blue eyes.
He's about the Aryan race, though, right?
Hitler's Jewish himself. I just want.
No, I
people
know
to
that. I that's what I want. Yo, I want. Oh my god! If I tell
Oh
you,
yeah,
if I
the
tell
blonde
you
haired,
what it
blue
was
eyed
really
Aryan
about,
race.
yeah. If I
Shout
tell
out
you
to
what it
Street
was really
Fighter V.
about, they'll nuke your
Shout
fucking
out to
channel.
Street Fighter 5.
If I tell you what that
have-
was, if I tell you what the what Hitler and all that was really about, they'll nuke your channel. So I won't go there. But when it comes to Whoopi Goldberg, me personally, I grew up loving this fucking woman, son. From Captain Planet all through fucking Star Trek, son. Every comedy movie she made, son. I have to watch that shit, right? Nowadays, I can't stand what she says. But in particular, the fact that they fucking suspended her. I don't agree with anything she says on that show, by the way. I'll let you guys know that now. But the fact that they suspended her pissed me the fuck off. And what pissed me off even more is these fucking. Remember last time I spoke, I talked about how I can't stand these pussy Republicans.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. They're all about, and you know me when it comes to free speech, right? That's all I'm about. I don't care what people fucking say, right? These people want to preach free speech, cancel culture is a problem, blah blah blah. Yo, and if you see Twitter and all that shit, all the fucking Republicans asking for her to be fired. So what happened to the whole cancel culture? What happened? You see what I mean? You see what
they're
I mean?
they're doing the same thing that they were accusing cancel culture of, basically.
That's what I'm saying, I don't agree with what she says today, and I'm like, let her fucking talk. What the fuck's your problem, son?
I was more upset of her apology. She apologized for what she's like for I guess I don't even remember
what she meant too, I knew what she meant. I knew exactly what she meant.
Well,
and people try to explain it over and over again, and people want to fucking like,
what she said.
No,
hold on. Wait. Hold up. B, go ahead, continue.
She didn't like when she apologized. It wasn't how she said it. She apologized. She said she talked to, I guess, whoever, and the whoever. And they corrected her. It was about race and everything else and stuff like that. And it's just like, girl, like, I understand you need your check. I don't know what her bank account statement looking like or whatever the case may be.
Very fast.
So
here's what she said. She said she should have said, instead of saying it wasn't about race, she should have said it was about both. So basically, she apologized, but then kind of like doubled down and said that she should have said it was about both and not just one.
I hate when comedians apologize, and that shit pisses me off.
But she had to because she's on ABC.
Yeah, but look at her last fucking name. Look who she works for all of her fucking life, Who's paying her?
Right.
You think she's gonna go out of her way and fucking insult them on purpose? You're gonna hold her over that fire, son? Come on.
Well, I ain't gonna lie.
I hate these fucking controllers.
This is not a good topic because boy, the internet was talking, and all of a sudden, boy, they was questioning this race. So I'm glad it educated some people.
Nobody said anything. I don't know if you remember, there's old clips of her. I don't know if it was Ted Dance. I don't remember who it was, but somebody was a straight up blackface. She was there. How many times did that dude call her nigger in front of her fucking face? Right? I don't know if you've seen that clip or that comedy skit.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but I never watched the clip. But I know what you're talking about.
I don't know nothing about that.
For the story, we should post that clip on Twitter and just let it spread like wildfire.
That's the thing. They have been, but nobody wanted to pay attention to it. Let's see. It's going to be funny when they do it now, though.
Start it up again. Shit.
Yeah.
I have my own gripe when it comes to this, and it's just because this reminded me for some, I guess, of the what happened in the Cannon a while back. Y'all remember that shit?
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, damn, I wish motherfuckers got on people for the shit they do and say it towards blacks the way they do toward the Jews.
But who's running stuff?
I was gonna say the Jewish people are running because you know who runs Viacom.
Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
Jewish people run a lot of shit, and don't forget what's Rothschilds? They're originally Jewish.
That's why I cannot say what Hitler was really about. I cannot say this. I know the truth about that fucking war, but you can't say that. I can't even say that in the educational way, in the most precise way, the proper way. It doesn't matter because nobody wants to fucking hear it, and then they'll call me a Nazi supporter and shit like that. I know what's going to happen. I know it really went down. That's what I said. That whole argument was bullshit anyway. But the fact they went there and fucking suspended her, I hope she fucking quits. I hope she quits. Don't take no more money, more than money.
I hope she quit because I can't pay her bills.
Yeah.
So she might as well go ahead and stay up.
She's still getting sister act money. Okay. She's still getting sister act money.
She got fuck you money. No, she got fuck me money. She got fuck me money, yo.
She's still getting paid for the sister act, Color Purple, and some more shit.
Straight up.
And they might be 50 cents. So we don't know how much she get paid in these royalties.
Whoopi Goldberg is very wealthy, girl.
She's well off.
Like 66.
Like I said, fuck me money. That's what she got.
Whoopi is chilling.
She lives in a brownstone in Manhattan. How you doing? Her glasses?
How long she bought that? We don't know exactly what's going on in her bank account because it's a lot of people we thought was super duper wealthy and this and that. And
Whoopi is set.
Whoopi is set. That woman got an EGOT.
Yeah,
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. That woman is set. She's getting money. She's getting money.
One of four.
Is them Oscar, Emmys, them things giving royalty checks with Oscars and Emmys too?
Yeah.
Girl, she lives in a brownstone in Manhattan. If you only knew how much those cost.
Did she just buy it or she bought it a long time ago?
It don't matter. Because those don't have they don't only apartments have the what's that thing? What's that called when it stays one price until you move out?
Is it grandfather? No, it's
no. Oh my god, I can't think of the word, but no. Because Whoopi has always moved around different places, but no, her brownstone, she lives in like a townhouse either a townhouse or a brownstone. I believe it's a brownstone, but it could be a townhouse. But a townhouse in Manhattan or a brownstone is very expensive, millions.
Cost of living in New York in general is crazy. So,
or did she buy it a long time ago, or she just bought it? Because there's a difference between if you bought it a long time ago, the price market now has definitely evolved and it's a lot bigger now. But compared to back then, she probably bought it, paid it off already, so she's not really having to pay, money. So we don't know exactly what these people's bank accounts looking like because there's a lot of celebrities we thinking is like, crazy making stupid money, have all these, but they network.
Well, first of all, she's on The View. The View don't pay them no little $500 every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
The View pays them pretty pennies. And I'm sure she negotiated very well. That's why she takes that bullshit. No, she's good.
If she's living lovely, I would have left. If you
But no,
feel
it's not.
so, if
Sometimes
you
it's not
feel
even about that. Sometimes that's your job, and you're there because you know the people are watching for you as well as others, and plus it's a position that you love because you know she's been there for a while. She left and came back. She's been there since 2007. So I don't know. I wouldn't leave, but I definitely would have some comments though.
I will say
She
this.
has other projects as well. So
Yeah, I will say this. This all could have been avoided with a conversation. And I don't think what Whoopi Goldberg said was wrong in any because if you break it down and we're all humans, is man's inhumanity to another man, which really that's what happened. So
But she was
I
also saying, no, it's not about race, which I'm sure offended a lot of Jewish people. And
which is why I said we need to have that conversation because for one, the Jewish people we got to understand if it's a race or a religion because if it's a religion, she's definitely not wrong. But
right,
is like if it's a race, I can see why you can get offended with it. But
right.
if it's a religion, nah, she's in the right. And
And
also,
then,
I feel like, hold on, I feel like they should have this conversation between blacks and Jewish. Like, have Minister Louis Farrakhan talk to a rabbi, and we could just debate the stuff that done happened in history and all that stuff. Because
right.
I will say this: the Jewish people are really sensitive about their history, even the stuff they contributed into slavery and all that stuff, which I know D Wolf probably knows about that he doesn't want to get into. But it's a lot. Like there's a lot of things that could have been happening, especially like I'm not going to compare torture like the Holocaust to slavery because it's both torture, but it's just one of those things where I feel like we need to all have this conversation. That way, we can educate people about why Jewish people goes off every time when people mention we need to get like the Jews, and why black people, we have our trials and tribulations. What's our trigger words that every time y'all say something, y'all ignore it, or we go off for some shit.
Well,
Go ahead, Xavier.
I have my theory about some of the words that black folk don't like, but I'm not even going to go there on this conversation because we talked about it before. Now, I know for a fact someone Jewish is either owns or is on top of ABC, and that's the main reason why they push her to apologize. And they were like, "We're just going to suspend you and still pay you." Though I'm sure they're still paying her. I'm telling you, that's the reason why. Because someone Jewish is probably owns ABC or probably is a contributor, something. That's the main thing.
You know what's
Because
so
if somebody owned Spotify, who was Jewish, who was Jewish, then some of the stuff that people say they'll be off of Spotify too. But I'm telling
you,
you,
you know what's so annoying? It's as black people and like everything we've been through, and like it's so crazy because people can like copy or mimic or like use our own style, culture, the way we are, or the situations we happen, but for some reason our situation is very minute compared to everyone else. Like even when Rihanna had did the little like I guess she had like the chinky eye situation, everybody was like, oh, why is she trying to be like Asian? Or if somebody probably somebody is Jewish or they're black, it's like you can't be that. Or it's so crazy how for us as black people we have to be like our stuff isn't as big, or we can't really complain or say anything, like try to separate stuff.
That's why I said what I said earlier.
well, for me, and I know all y'all gonna get upset, but I just don't take braids, especially cornrows, as something to be upset about. And this is coming from a black boy who had braids. I really don't. But
It's not even just
you
braids.
chinking your eyes, that I think I can see that because Asians were known for
But if you go to
chink
Africa, that's
the stuff.
natural. Like
I mean,
there's so many like natural Africans that have those natural eye sets.
But it's not because it's because down their line, because they're from a certain village, they had something mixed in them. It is not no normal for no just regular Africans to have chink eyes. I know for a fact it's all from being mix of something. Because
Mongols,
if
probably.
that's the case, why is it that people from Nigeria and Ghana and all of that look the way they do? Their hair textures the way it is, and the further up you go in Northern Africa, the more their features start to change, and same with their hair. If they're all the same people, they're all from Africa. No, it's from being mixed. And certain
Yes.
parts are being mixed only and staying in that region. Just like people love to say, black people have blonde hair too. No, they don't. Those kids that everybody loves to post pictures of,
I
their
know
hair
exactly
turns
what you're
dark.
talking about.
Hidden
The hair
history.
Papua
goes
New
back
Guinea.
to dark. People love talking
They
about,
from Papua New Guinea.
it gets on my nerves because I'm like, I understand where people are trying to set. I'm like, the only people that are brown, have a bit of brown with blonde hair, are those who are mixed. And sometimes it's usually white and black mix, and their hair get that really cute, pretty, like half blonde, half brownish, sandy brown. Like Katie from My Wife and Kids, her hair is like that
Yeah.
naturally.
Yeah.
That, I guess, kind of amberish color,
Yeah, and it's like
something like that.
I'm one of those people where I just want anybody to be able to do what the fuck they want. I don't care. I am not about to get mad because some white bitch has fucking braids in her damn head.
Oh, that's
I
okay.
don't give a fuck. I have other stuff to fucking worry about. And there are
Mhm.
people that are just going off about it left and right, night and day. I'm like, who cares? Did she say nigga?
I
Did she
think
say black people? I started this first. No, let her wear her little funky ass braids. Let her roots get fucked up. Who cares? I'm like, some
But
people spend too much
everybody's different
energy.
experience though,
Rent
because
free.
I personally have to deal with well, it was a nurse that decided she wanted my braids or whatever, so I did the braids. She just a whole different person. I'm like, what the fuck? If braids is gonna make you disrespect me, fuck it. I don't want you wearing braids.
But it's not just like
Wow.
we just talking about hair, but you have to talk about like everything, like not just hair, but from like
Okay, not to cut
body.
you me.
No, and that's another thing too. Black people are not the only people with curves.
Right.
We're not the only people
Yeah.
with curves.
But can I say why that is an issue for a lot of white women to sport braids like that? Example, Bo Derek, they love to call those Bo Derek braids
Oh,
because her white ass wore them, but they are not Bo Derek braids. They did not come from her. They came from Ethiopia. But they won't tell you that. They're going to let them be called Bo Derek braids because when white women do stuff and wear stuff, then it's glamorous and fashionable and it's okay. But they don't want
Cultural
to let it
What
be
is
known
appropriation.
that that comes from us.
it's
Yeah,
what is
another
When
Bo
we
Derek
wear it, it's
braids?
not the same. It's not
literal
seen the
cultural
same way.
appropriation.
What is Bo Derek braids?
What you say,
Bro,
Crystal?
that shit sounds
I'll
horrible.
send you a picture, B. I'll
What did
send you a
Crystal say?
picture.
Bo Derek was famous in the 70s.
Basically
She
like
was wearing that red
Uh,
swimsuit.
the lemonade braids.
Oh, I
you
didn't know
said
they had
something,
a
Crystal?
name.
No, I was just saying it's an underhanded way. We would like to think it's innocent, but everything that we've done as Black people have been taken and put to another level of fuck you. So when we look at braids, we don't look at, oh, she just want to rock braids. It's what are you going to do with these braids? What are you going to be disrespectful when I have to come at you sideways? I'm going to look like the aggressor, but you just came at me talking about, hey, girl, morning. Like you ain't got no fucking common sense. Why? Because of braids. So I think it's an anxiety or paranoid thing that some of us have. But if genuinely it's a woman rocking braids of another ethnic group, fine. But come on, it's fucking rare. Let's not be, blind to it.
But y'all, like what I'm trying to say is, it's not about like I'm saying like when other race, like if Black people or people like it's mostly you mostly see people go off on Black people when they do it. Like even what's her name, the singer did that, but it's like whenever a Black person or like might have a style that mimics like somebody else's like culture or race, like they instantly get like talked about, like bashed or like have to apologize about it and whatever the case may be. But like if any other culture probably can rock something that a black like is known predominantly for being a black thing. It's like it's not that big of a deal. Like we have to always like our problems are always like it feels like it has to be like, you know, less than like, oh, you can't be upset or we can't, you know, we can't be hurt or, you know, be annoyed.
I feel
But
like
when it,
the only black style that I ever hear people talk about are honestly like the individual braids.
Yeah.
Or straight backs. I don't really know much about other styles that people have really
like,
complained
people
about
are
other people taking.
Lost.
like
But
the whole like lining their lips to make it a lot plumper. Back then they used to look at it like crazy. Like, girl, why your lips this big?
They compared us to gorillas.
but the things though,
Which is funny because gorillas have
women used to
thin
do that
lips.
too.
Thank
Right.
you.
They
Thank
have
you,
bony
Ray.
ass
Son,
lips.
I say that all the time,
They
yo.
have
Whose
stupid,
lips look
tiny
like
ass.
that? What the fuck you
They
trying
have
to say?
stupid, tiny ass,
Not
Fuck.
to,
tart lips.
not to mention, if you
Oh,
ever shave a monkey, what they skin look like underneath?
right? Who's hairier than any? What race is hairy?
How we monkeys?
We hairy like that? Come on, son. I'm like,
How
yo,
are we monkeys?
that's why I'm like, if anybody uses that as an
How
insult
are
towards
we
me, I'm like, yo, you
evil.
kidding, right?
Show me the monkey I look like,
Yo.
please.
Hey,
Stop
Oh
playing.
my gosh.
Oh my god, that's
Did you
the
really
worst
just
shit.
say who's hairy like that?
Straight up.
he has a
Look
point.
at Robin Williams, son.
All right.
Nah,
He has a
let's
point.
really look, son. Look who has to shave the most and have to fucking have a fucking
White
Brazilian
man.
wax and shit more than
White
we
man.
don't do that shit.
Fuck.
Look at
I
them
ain't
damn
gonna
Oh my
lumberjacks.
god.
Look at
Our
them
shit
damn
is
white
manageable
lumberjacks.
if we leave it alone. It's manageable,
In
son.
my
Their
in
shit.
my 20 in my
Stop
28
playing. I hate
years,
that insult. Son. That makes zero sense.
Yo,
Right.
you
Oh
was
my
going
god.
off.
in
God
my
damn.
28 years
I
of
mean,
life,
is anything Mia
I've
did
never
was said
seen
like wrong though? Like,
I've never seen a black man with a hairy back. I'm sorry. I've never seen it. I've
Save
never
your
ran
back.
into it.
Save your back.
you got me, you
We
got me
look like
wondering, looking in the
monkeys.
mirror
The
and
fuck
shit
is
now,
that,
nigga.
son?
Yo, you remember fucking A-Train?
Oh my god, my man was
no.
hairy.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Yo.
The only
He was hairy.
Oh, the memories.
Now,
Oh,
let me
the
tell
He
you
had more
something.
hair on his back
Let
than
me
he
tell
did
you
his
something.
head. Yo,
Bruh,
A
as
Train.
an African kid, seeing that shit fucking shocks me. I was like, that's possible.
and it wasn't it, and it's not like it was just like, oh, like some on the front and then a little bit of back here. It was all around. Like, how,
Bruh,
nigga? How?
how the fuck?
the only
All right. All right. Any last words? Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
I feel
Whoopi
hurt.
said what she said.
All I
Let's
have
just
to say
say
is
that.
I'm balanced. I don't like that unfair shit.
I'm
The
getting
only
tired of people
thing is if a
trying
white
to
or any
like
other
just because
group,
the shit that y'all say is really
Both of
fucked
y'all
up about
talking at the
black people.
same
Right.
time.
It's like, can y'all hear each? I was about to say, can y'all hear each other?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kristen.
I'm sorry. So the only
Oh
thing
my.
I say is that any other woman that's rocking African hairstyle, I think as black women, if they didn't do anything, they didn't come out of line, and they didn't try to portray a culture inappropriately, I would say leave them the fuck alone. Don't jump on them or give that a reason why you should be disrespectful, because I've seen that shit too. I'm just saying most women that I've seen do it under. That's all.
All right. The next.
I could care less about the braids. Like, girl, I barely even do braids in my hair because my hair, and I know it's gonna fall off. Messing around with box braids for too long of a period, like they are. So I don't even sitting down in somebody's chair for 8 hours. You gotta be, girl. Hell no. Hell nah. I'll give me some straight backs, put a wig on, leave me the hell alone. So if they want their hair to be falling out, you know, let them be, child. Because my migraine days have ended. Taking pills that you done smashed just so you can go to sleep. Not it.
Okay. The next topic. I don't know if y'all seen this Cosmopolitan magazine where they had this white big girl, on there,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
definitely
talking
saw
about.
that. I definitely saw that. Definitely
Yeah,
saw that.
so the whole thing was about like her being big, and she was in gym clothes. She talked about this is healthy, and it's funny from a community page that I got it from. He vehemently disagreed with it, and basically, he brought down. He said, "This is not healthy. This is ridiculous. Almost 700,000 people die annually to heart disease every year. That's 75 people per hour. One of the leading causes obesity. Stop pandering to women." Now, I will say this because like
Pandering to
it brought
women.
it pandering because
To women.
because Cosmopolitan is a women's
It's
magazine.
the
Let me say
disrespect.
one thing, and then I'm gonna back out of this conversation. You can't tell a magazine specifically designed for women to not pander to women, and I'm gonna leave that alone. And I'm gonna leave
I
it
think
alone from there.
I think the people meant like don't pander to fat women, not
What's up, Mark?
Mark.
Mark! Yo, what's up?
I'm
My
not gonna play devil's
boy!
advocate, bro. I'm just saying maybe the
With the
magazine
Mark
is saying we're
KO out of
pandering
nowhere.
towards, bro. I'm just saying maybe the magazine is saying we're pandering towards real women, not fat women. That's part of what they wanted them to say, which I don't agree with. But I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate. That's probably what they were trying to say.
It's the disrespect.
I,
Like
It's
pandering
disrespectful, yeah.
to
It's definitely
women.
disrespectful.
It's so like, first of all, just because it's Cosmopolitan magazine, they all automatically assume only females read this magazine, only females. Like, oh, okay. First of all, if they're
it's not
big
just
and they
women who
want to
look at it,
use,
but that's their target audience. That's what I was saying. It's
Women and gay men.
everything up in that. It's dedicated primarily to women.
Yeah. The thing about Cosmopolitan too is like even though it is designed to target towards women and gay men, I mean, I don't know a lot of people who read that anymore. Like it's not even written that well. A lot of people just read elsewhere. I don't really know a lot of
most
people who
people
still
ain't
read
buying
that, to be
magazines.
honest.
Like, we pass by the grocery store,
Right. Like
look at the
maybe they got a
screen,
digital
look at the magazine,
subscription.
read
I don't
through
know.
it, and
Right.
put it right back on the shelf. So, like, unless you have a year-round membership and you working at a hospital or something, and you see the magazine sitting there, but most people is not sitting here reading. Like, so, like, stop that whole, like, they always try to make it seem like, oh, like they're always selling stuff to just females and stuff like that. Like, stop putting us in these shelves. Like, okay, I understand homegirl was, heavy set, and they want to put her on the cover of the magazine to, like, boost the magazine, make them feel better about themselves because they didn't use the natural size, skinny girl or whatever the case may be, and half of the world is getting fat because of COVID. But, like, do not
Fatter.
do do not
That's her.
do
He's not
not,
wrong.
like, as, like, I understand, like, he was trying to, like, make a point, but do not you disrespect all, like, oh, like, claim it's like, oh, pandering to females on, like, stop the disrespect to a female, period.
I
Okay.
think honestly, I really think from what he was saying is, you know how people were saying that Hillary Clinton was pandering to black people by saying certain things and like going to certain neighborhoods and stuff.
Shut
I
up. She can kick rocks.
Hot sauce.
that's
Okay, that kind of pattern you can criticize.
no,
What
but
this dude was
honestly,
saying about this magazine, no,
Hold on. Dion. Let Xavier finish.
I feel like the pandering he's saying is like when women who are obese and or extremely overweight, stop pandering to them by putting another woman overweight or something on a magazine and saying this is what a real woman is like.
That this is beauty and this is
is
what women should go
natural.
for. Right.
This is
I see what you're
healthy.
saying.
I'm like, how are you healthy? Did they check your records? Did they do anything of that? Because I really don't understand how your stomach can be so huge and you don't have fat being collected around your heart. Because they say that when you have a really big stomach and waist, that a lot of times you've developed fat around the heart, which is not good for you. So I feel like that's what he was trying to say. Like, stop pandering that kind of nonsense of like, oh, this is healthy, because it's not. Because I've been saying this argument for a long time, because I'm a person who my weight fluctuates because I love food too goddamn much. And I tell people all the time, I really wish that this whole thing of being overweight is normal and it's natural will stop, because it makes no sense how by the time the mid 90s, late 90s came, people really started getting really big. And before that, it was natural to be slim, and everybody was naturally slim. People always say, oh, there were still fat people. Yeah, there was fat people, but people really were slim. And plus, we used to go to the club too. So, like, you really were getting a workout in and maintaining it. But anyways, a lot of people, we just really started getting big over the last 20 years. Even smaller countries are like a lot of those other countries, those foreign countries, they're starting to get big too. And they're talking about because of what the foods that we're eating. And I keep telling people, I said, I really want people to stop making it natural, because now you have these really big ass girls thinking that they can model with their big kneecaps and big ass thighs, and they talking about something, this is natural. I'm like, that is not natural, girl. You are obese. Like, you look like you are.
And they are pushing this on women too.
And it makes no
women
sense.
they push this on, and these are the ones that are advocating too.
No, and I'm being so serious. Like, I know I sound funny, but I'm being so serious because I'm saying that because I walk through DC and I walk in New York, you know, sometimes Brooklyn, but, you know, I'm mostly in Manhattan. I see, like, the dude be with the girl, and he's slim, and the girl is over there pretty, like, kind of big looking.
Looking like somebody from Dragon Tales.
And I keep wondering what's going on, because I don't know if y'all have ever noticed, like, it's usually like the young kids, like they're high school or like the 20, 21. And I'm like, how come these girls have huge breasts, big thighs, big butts? Like, where did this come from? Because I swear when I was in high school, like, it was rare to see a girl with a big ass like that.
None of them.
Now,
Xavier.
Now, I swear, all these young girls have these big thighs, big ass. And it's like, how, like, what's going on?
And back in the day, we had to rely on the uniform pants to put a little bit of cuff in the butt. Now, they ain't got to worry about that.
Ain't do nothing.
Yeah. I mean, they added a little something, but not like now.
They added a little.
They going off now.
Back in the day, you used to wear the pants up to your belly button so your butt could look
exactly. And then you had the belt loop on, like, the last hoop, just to make sure they don't fall.
But
like, I know.
But no, this is my last thing I'm going to say too. Like, for men, it is not acceptable for men to be really big like that and be attractive. Yes, there are people trying to make it like that, but honestly, women will always say, I don't want no big fat man.
Look what they did to Adele and what's her name? The comedian? Just
Monique.
for losing weight.
Right. And it's like all of a sudden, like, but men always accept women being bigger, even though I still think there's a slight fetish type of thing going on. But I'll leave that alone. But a lot of times men have to be in shape, and a lot of times men don't really advertise being overweight to each other. They try to say, yo, like, you know, you got to lose that. Where I find, because I'm friends with a lot of females, a lot of them comfort one another. Just like, oh, girl, there's nothing wrong with being like this. And they ask me, and I'm like, actually, no, there is something wrong. And I don't think you should be like that forever. I said, because being you're not going to be fat. You're not going to be one size of fat forever.
Right.
You're going to continue getting big unless you make a change.
Yeah.
So I'm all about, ain't nobody saying you got to be all super thin. No one's saying that. I said, but let's slim it down.
Right.
Let's at least get to a size 12.
Just be healthy.
You know?
I'm glad that you pointed that out, because I always say that people get mad when, you know, people make fun of Lizzo's weight and other women's weight, but it's okay to make fun of Rick Ross being fat.
What?
Or other men.
Okay.
It's okay to make fun of men being fat, but it's not okay to make fun of a woman being fat.
Okay,
because
we used to roast Rick Ross.
The female will cry. Lizzo, like she would cry on a heartbeat, but then she'll turn around, put a thong on, and be wiggling all up and down.
Okay.
Rick Ross,
we're not doing that. My man Ross, he just.
We don't know. Rick Ross could be.
No, Rick Ross would do the same thing.
I mean,
Because I
To
remember it
be
Rick
was his
Ross
fair,
son. He
lost
used to
some
have
to
that
be
damn weight.
fair,
belly
Rick Ross.
running rampant.
To be fair, Rick Ross, he has dropped weight. He can drop some more, but he has dropped weight.
Yeah,
Nah,
he
he
had
gained
a
that
health
thing
scare a
back
So,
couple
up.
years
I
ago.
seen the
He's
last
been,
video
and you got
recently.
yeah.
and you got him confused with DJ Khaled. He's the one that doesn't wear a shirt and need to keep his
No,
shirt
Ross.
on.
Ross used to not wear shirts back in the days. He was loving that
Yeah,
body.
back like yeah, you
I
right.
was
But
But
DJ
then he
Khaled
had
right now,
lost weight, but them skin was hanging. So then
okay.
he
Yeah,
gained it back.
that skin was
Mm.
very
horrible.
loose, very
There. It was
loose.
there.
Yeah, her
He
sex
said
appeal
lemon.
I
mainly
promise you, somebody
extra.
that Rick Ross probably wanted to have sex with, she probably made a nice little comment.
Nurturing.
She
He
said,
has
I
nurturing
don't
skin.
fuck fat men.
Oh,
Sometimes,
oh,
no, sometimes it'll take one female that is so sexy to you to make a comment like that, and all of a sudden you're like, oh bitch, let me lose his belly. You just watch.
you're like
Shit.
Kevin Gates was talking
The
about his
power
weight
of the
loss,
TUSS
and
work.
Kevin Gates, I think he was
it
holding
was
like
probably Trina. It was probably
Kevin
Trina.
Gates was
This
holding
Oh
some
shit.
baby in his
No,
arms.
I don't think so.
I can't remember who the baby was related to with Kevin Gates, but he was holding his baby, and the baby like was squeezing his breast, trying to get like his man breast, trying to get milk. And Kevin Gates was like, "Oh
I
hell no!
remember him
Like I need to
I
lose weight
remember that.
because you're not gonna
Ooh.
squeeze my man breast trying to get some milk." So he lost weight
Why
right
you
after that. He
Ooh.
ask
said that's what made him
man,
lose
bro?
weight.
Ooh.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, all right. To the second part to this question, because I understand, like, I had to look up the BMI. Anybody know the body mass index and all that stuff? And I've
Wait,
seen a
wait.
lot of people.
Wait, before we leave this, hold on. Let me say, because he has said something about, I think it's like a fetish with small guys and then like the big girls and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't think it's really a fetish. It's like a control thing. Because especially if
Well,
you
I'm gonna
gotten a girl
speak
when
and
she
say
was
it
like in her
was a fetish
perfect
on my
size or
end
she
because I
felt good about
was.
herself, and then she gained like a little bit of that that in relationship weight they call it, and then she's like
Wait,
then
who
all of a
about?
hmm.
Who did you say?
Oh, because you said like sometimes you see like a small person dating like a big person.
Oh,
It
I
might be like a
person's name.
fetish thing, and I was like,
Name.
I think it's a control thing because when you get a girl and she's like perfect size, she's like in love with herself, and then she gains that relationship rate, and you don't say nothing about it, and you be like, oh no, you fine, and then she keep gaining it, and you're like, oh no, you fine. At this point, that's self esteem. When she finally looks in that mirror and realize she ain't where she used to be. Now you don't gain
Right.
control of her.
No, I
That girl
mean
ain't
like
going nowhere.
I I was someone who preferred dating, what I'm saying, big girls. I'm a skinny dude myself, and like, not to be, rude or anything, but I definitely liked them bigger the better. It was definitely, a thing I was into. But then I realized, right, like, the best thing is that even if they do lose weight, they doing it for themselves. But there's nothing like a skinny girl who has big girl loyalty, because big girls are loyal. They are. They loyal. And if you get a girl who used to be big and now she's skinny, she still got the big girl loyalty, but now she's got all the things that she can do as being a smaller woman. So you just get the best of both worlds. I don't really
That's
see
a
it as a
fact.
controlling thing. I just see it as, hey, I get two positives. Let's go.
But
Like,
Mark, that could be her self-esteem, like her not realizing that how good she looks.
right.
She still feels like this is the best that I can get because no other guy really hot is still gonna like me, not knowing that guy. So sometimes that mentality could be because even when I was losing weight
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and people were saying like, "Oh, you look so good," this and that, like, "Oh my god," I still was sitting here like, and everybody's like, "You look amazing," like, "Oh my god, you look even better now," and I'm like, "Really?" So it's like I don't know. You might
Yeah.
still be in that realm of
Like self-doubt type
fear.
of,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
No. So that might be that loyalty that you're talking about. Like, it's really insanity. But
And that's going to be a bad thing if it's strictly because insecurity is like, then damn, she don't even really want to be here. Maybe maybe she just like, okay, I'm settling. I'm like, god dang, I thought I was all right, but okay, thought I was all right.
sometimes women, and I don't even know that she can get someone even better.
And well, hey, you about to make me ask some questions when this
Uh,
podcast over
yes.
too. To figure out what's going on. I got to double check now. I'm insecure. Insecure now.
Okay, all right. Basically my second question, because like when I was in the Navy, and when it came to time to run the PRTs, I see a lot of especially black women fail because they didn't make the body fat, and they're not like sloppy or nothing, but they will always fail. And a lot of people used to think the BMI was racist. So my question to y'all is, do y'all think the BMI should be updated, or at least you know be to a standards where you would think that even though this person, because women got more body fat than men, it's just like, is that really a healthy? Is there a way you can update it to where like every sort of race can like feel comfortable with it?
It's the cozy way. It's the cozy way. That's all. It's a cozy way. Cozy way.
But were girls like in shape, or did they have some pudge, hugs, and stuff on them?
It depends. It's like I'm not gonna lie. There's some girls that I can say, okay, yeah, you a little thick. I can see you failing, but there's some girls that they're like thick but in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like
Because
what's a perfect example?
A lot
Bria Miles, like Bria Miles. They kind of look like Bria Miles, but they'll fail, or they'll fail the journey. Or I think like if Serena Williams would have took a BMI, she would probably fail, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, she would fail. She would fail. Like even in her best shape, she would have still failed.
Yeah.
Or the fact that BMI is not.
Body mass index. So it's like it takes your neck, your waist, and your hip size, and then they like add them all together and then divide it, and that's how they create exactly if you're going to be like considered to be skinny, like fit, or like obese or fat,
But we're
but
not
it's like
talking about that the BMI different for each ethnicity, right?
No, they consider all as one. So I don't know what person they used to create the focal point of it, but it definitely wasn't these thick girls now.
The skinny white bitch.
Ray, do you think Bria Miles will fail today?
Now, no, because she's still thick, but she's like slim thick, and but even like when she was thicker, I thought she was in great shape. She's just
she was perfect
a little thicker
back then. Yeah.
But so the scary thing about it is if they upgrade it and make it a little bit more bigger, would that mean the world would get a little bit more fatter? So it's like,
I mean, the world won't get fatter.
The world is getting fatter every day, though.
And that's what
get fatter regardless.
Yeah, but some people like they have that standard. Like, okay, they have to meet this number right here. So like, it would have to be like for a black person, we would have to have like a 27-inch waist, a 41-inch like the ass size has to be 41 inches. The waist has to be 27. Like your neck has to be like 12 or 13.
I'm sorry,
to make
I keep
it
laughing
like
at the word neck.
So like, but imagine like if you say okay, the person can have like a 32-inch waist, if the waist goes up, the ass has to go up, the hips have to go up too, so it'll probably be like a 47, 48. The neck might be a 13. But if you keep bringing it up, like some people like they look at these numbers and that's like where they go to like stay fit and stuff. But like if you bring up the numbers, some people then the waist is gonna start getting bigger and bigger, and then pretty soon it's gonna be a 40-inch waist.
Or when you're in the Navy, you have to maintain purpose.
Oh no, you're cutting.
Yeah, you cutting out. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
How I sound now?
Much better.
Better, yeah.
I was saying when you're in the military, when you're in the Navy, the Marines, whatever, in order to be one of those special ops soldiers, one of those the ones who go out in the water, the ones who do jumping out the airplane and stuff, you do have to be a certain weight.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to drag somebody else down before they put a parachute. You're going to turn to
and this is for Ray too, because Ray, you should know this. Like, you can't be overweight doing field stuff, really.
Nah, they do
No,
be.
you can't. There's some
They
fat
be.
cheeks though. There's some
They
fat ass
be.
cheeks.
They be
But I
overweight.
get what you're saying. The SEAL candidates and the people, the divers. Oh no, they're in impeccable shape, but they work out every
Exactly.
day.
And
Lies.
that's what I'm
Lies.
talking about. Because
Lies.
I don't ever see you don't see no fat person who's really like Navy SEALs, like who's breaking in from the water in the wartime. You don't see nobody fat. They might be big and muscular and like
But
big legs, but no one's
they have to
fat.
get waived. Like that's still technically considered fat. When you look at the BMI standards, their numbers are still technically considered
Well,
fat.
that's
Like even
because
with their
it's muscle, and they will know that. I think it will
look.
change them because they know it's muscle
Yeah,
at that
if
time.
they doing it based on like every type of fat, then yeah, they're gonna fail it. But like if they talking about separating between fat and muscle, then that's different.
Yeah.
I know they
Because
have
So
to
those
you would
be.
people,
have
I
yeah,
know there
those
has to
people
be
who
a
doing
difference.
that,
I
right?
just feel like there has to be a difference because obviously there are men who are built like hell in the Navy and in the military, and there's skinny ass boys in there and all the other stuff. Like I know there has to be cutting something. Like I know someone's doing something and saying, okay, well he's this because clearly he's big and muscular. But I don't know, like, because my father's military, and I just know when he was younger and he was doing all that stuff, jumping from the planes and all the extra, he said none of them was out of shape. He said they all was in shape. And he showed me pictures with him and and the guys he would do stuff with, and they were all in shape. And this is in the 80s.
The other thing too is that you got to look at the equipment itself, right? Like you can't have like equipment going off out of pocket because somebody is overweight. Like they need people at a certain regimen. You already in there working out anyway, so you shouldn't even be looking like that about to do all this stuff anyway.
Right. That's like
Genuinely.
firefighters. Firefighters, like, some of them might be real thick, but they're not like fat though. They just have muscle underneath some of it, but they're not fat because that fucking fire suit and then the damn hammer, the axe, and then the tank, oxygen tank. You know how heavy that shit is?
And then you got to remember
Heavy.
too,
I
you know
knew
how
a
fast the people
I
got to
knew a
put that on? If you
I
can't
knew a
move,
diving chief
nah,
and a second class. They could outrun for days. They could swim for days. They could, they do the whole, the whole working out and everything else. It was just they were technically considered big when they went to go to their exam. So they had to literally get a waiver to get medically thrown in the word so they can do a full BMI. Because like if you go by the standards of what is written on the paper, you like if you lift weights and if you work out so you can be carrying heavy stuff, you would not pass a lot of those standards, even if you're like what you consider to be physically fit.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know that. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of women that they're not fat nor they're sloppy. Yeah, they're a little thick, but they're not fat. Like nothing's out of place and all that stuff. I seen them fail. I seen some girls, they're not fat, they're big breasted. I seen them fail. Because women carry
But
more fat than men. But it's
there's
just
some guys who's kind of sloppy in pass, and some guys who be in that gym looking like they take steroids and lifting up 20-30 plates, and they can't pass. Like,
yeah.
but
It's been a
they're
couple.
fit. It's just certain body types. Like they just if you're like stronghold. Some people are just fat. Like they look sloppy, but they're really like not cutting weight. Some people are fat and cutting weight. So it's just like I don't. These standards is weird because if you change the standards to say, okay, people like guys who lift weights, this would be their BMI because they have bigger arms, their chest is a lot more, like stronger, their waist is, they got the packs and everything, and then they got like massive thighs or whatever, then it'll probably be okay. But
So
if you tell me the standards is for like a skinny toothpick, bro, that's not gonna work.
But then that's a weird thing to do anyway. It's weird to build a system around that because there are people that are just naturally built. Samoans,
Like
for
Samoans.
example, are built as hell. You know what I'm saying? They have a very good like.
It's about
physical
drive. It's
regimen.
about power. We
Like,
stay
their
hungry.
genetics is
kick your
actually
ass.
really good. So
And they
you
be
know,
water.
so are we to say that those people are overweight just because it's said the BMI said they're above a certain weight? I think that would be unfair to say because these people
I'm not gonna lie to you, Father, and I'll let you get back to your point. I know a couple Samoans on the Truman, and like you said, they're in shape, but they usually fail. A couple of them were Samoans and all that stuff, but they can outrun a lot of people and they can outdo a lot of people.
Child, we
You
seen
say
some people who
outrun
didn't
though.
think they
Do
was
y'all
gonna be
mean in a sprint or long distance?
long distance. They run on treadmills like 10 miles. Like a lot of them, like the thing is the way to stand. Like a lot of them you see, you probably think, oh, they can't come through. They can't fit through a hatch, like a little small circle or something. Like they can fit through it, but the problem is they're just built wide, and so the standards to what when you look at it, it looks like a normal, regular human being that's like, yeah, that probably runs long distance, don't lift weights, just like normal. But when you deviate between everybody type, race, and everything like that, it's certain bodies that just don't fit the norm for the BMI. But it's like, if you change it, what will the new world look like?
Before I speak, was Dion saying something?
Yeah. I was just saying, like, basically, in short, something needs to be done to include like all these different body types. I actually knew this one female Marine. She was short and thick. She didn't even have like a stomach or nothing. She was just short and like real thick around, ass size, whatever. And like she had the same problems stated here. She wasn't necessarily fat, but that BMI test got her every time.
And it gets a lot of women. I used to feel sorry for the women when they fail.
Well, the body mass. Sorry.
Go ahead, Crystal.
I've been doing that all night. Y'all can beat me up. Y'all can jump me. Anyway, the body mass index, though, it doesn't really show the difference between the muscle and the fat. So it doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It definitely doesn't. It does not.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. It doesn't accurately predict when the weight can lead to health problems. Or right. I feel like America alone is behind. It's people that I've worked in the medical field that they've been diagnosed with so many different things and their weight doesn't match their BMI that we've been either taken by calculator or by... Sorry, I don't know why the echo's there. Okay.
It happens.
I don't know why it doesn't match what we have in the computer system. And then, bam, they have blood clots and other stuff.
That is a good point. I said, I don't know. I know there's a world. My opinion is, I feel like you should include muscle or at least something in there where it's just like, okay, you can be this sort of weight and be healthy, but you still gotta like keep or maintain that weight. Because if you go over, you might have heart problems or heart conditions. Because obesity is one killer, heart disease is another killer. So it's one of those things where it's just like, I know when I was in the Navy and I was bigger, I was really good at sit-ups. I'll do like this skinny RPOC that we had, and he was skinny as hell, but he couldn't do like 20 sit-ups. And like a lot of people kind of like laughed at him. But like me, I used to like in boot camp, I used to break out like at least 100 sit-ups every time we did a PRT and all that other stuff. So I can understand it's like, just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy, and just because you're big doesn't mean you're unhealthy. Because if anybody watches the WWE, you see people like Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt, that's just like very maneuverable in the ring, and it's like really big. And then you look at James Ellsworth.
The word you're looking for is bimbo.
Bimbo, big and nimble.
Big and nimble, yes. Bimbo.
Yeah. And then you got... I don't know if I would say that, but then again, you got James Ellsworth. Like, he may be skinny and he's probably in the BMI, but that... he just looks like a total weakling.
He was funny.
He's just funny looking.
Oh shit.
But he probably weighed the same as Bruce Lee. But if you look at Bruce Lee compared to James Ellsworth, you can tell.
How tall and what did Bruce Lee weigh? Like, how tall was he and what did he weigh?
All I know is he was 5'3".
He's 5'3".
So I'm taller than Bruce Lee because I'm 5'4".
No.
I'm 5'4", 150 pounds.
Bruce Lee was 5'8" and 144. Where you get 5'3"?
Was he 5'8"? I thought he was 5'3".
Yeah, he was 5'8".
Hey, it's 5'7".
Oh yeah,
I thought he was shorter than that.
I gotta know all.
Oh yeah, you're right. 5'8". I'm sorry, I stand corrected.
Oh okay.
Yeah, 5'8".
And 140, you said?
Yeah, he weighed like 141.
Yeah, but he was all muscle.
You have to remember.
Yeah, I'm 5'4", 150 pounds, and I'm like
very, very, very lean.
Oh man, Bruce Lee, he barely had body fat. Period. Like man was all muscle.
Yo, you this gonna be weird, but you know who I was thinking of? You know who I was thinking of, Mark?
Real talk.
You know who I was thinking of, Mark? You ever watched Ninja Warrior, the Japanese giant, Makoto Nagano? Yeah, Sasuke.
Man, you always talking about this man.
My man Makoto Nagano is just like, honestly, that's who I look. If you ever look at them, they're like, some of them dudes are just like really cut and really lean, and they just got regular jobs.
Right?
Yeah, they're fishermen.
Yeah, the fishermen.
He was like 5'4", bro. He came in cut. That man.
Yeah,
that's how I'm trying to be. That's how I'm trying to train myself to be too.
I said, "What's going on?" And all he do is pick up trout.
He's fisherman. Yeah, but you should see his workout on the boats. That shit is like, my man works out.
And also, depending on what you get on that fishing line, that's a workout in of itself. Some of them fish are strong as fuck.
When they be fighting back,
it's a very physically demanding job. Ooh. Being a fisherman.
I'm thinking he lift weights just on the regular. He professional bodybuilder. I'm like fisherman. Ooh.
Nah, a lot of those people on Sasuke, they got regular jobs. Like what my man Shingo Yamamoto, he was a gas station manager.
Yeah, he went to the gas station.
But any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Don't let the BMI define your body.
So don't think that you can just ignore that BMI and get big.
In the words of Honey Nut Cheerios, be happy, be healthy.
Shut up, man.
Yo.
I mean,
I'm mad the commercial actually played in my head when you said that.
Right?
There was no avoiding that.
Okay. We gonna be talking about my man Nick Cannon, aka Dick Cannon. Dick Cannon.
Oh, you talking about the 5-time no pull-out champion?
He had to apologize for the manner in which he's revealing his 8th child. Him and model Bree Tiesi are expecting a baby together less than 2 months after he and Alyssa Scott lost their son Zen, who died on December 5th. He apologized because he failed to protect and respect the privacy of all my children, when he shared the news earlier this week. And quote, I misspoke and probably went too much into detail on Monday, expressing my feelings, and it probably felt like I was making some comparatives when talking about the passing of my son Zen, and then also talking about the new child I'm expecting. How y'all feel about Nick Cannon still being the undisputed non-pullout king champ?
Honestly, you know what's so crazy? Someone asked him who's his favorite baby mama, and he said the next one. So I guess,
that is the most gangster answer ever.
That's a comedian answer.
And we ain't know she was pregnant. So
sorry,
they must be loved.
That is gangster.
Stop.
I'm gonna put that in a textbook.
Some people are trying to call Nick a colorist because he's picking women who have the same
lighter complexion,
skin complexion or lighter complexion. Yeah. I mean,
he does have a type.
That's what they're trying to say.
You know what? If I may, I'm tired of this discussion, honestly, because it's getting to a point where it's become redundant. Like, we've had this conversation since how long? Like, oh, colorism, this and that. But I'm like, we are at a point where you are adequately represented at this particular point in time. In 2022, you can find yourself in many shades of beautiful. I don't want to hear this excuse that because somebody prefers a particular type of skin color, that I'm supposed to believe he loves his people any less. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
right.
there's a lot of different people out there that may be into darker skin or maybe into lighter skin just based on how they were raised. Maybe they were raised to view a particular skin color more than the other. Like, it's conditioned deep. And I feel like if that's not addressed into the conversation, a lot of people lose a lot of context. So they'll say shit like, oh, he colorist, or oh. And, at first glance, it's understandable because, yeah, dark-skinned women especially have had a, fucking rough time with their representation.
Of course, yeah.
We are at a point now where if you are not able to find beauty within yourself, that is a failure of your environment. You live at a place that did not adequately put
that's
that
why I
in
fucking
you.
love you, bro. Like, that's the shit people don't talk about. We are not here for it anymore. We're in a day and age where people either need to find themselves or you gonna get left behind.
You gonna get left behind. Like, there used to be a time where I used to genuinely feel for them, but it's like right now, like, I'm at a place where, I fucking love myself. I'm from fucking Ghana, West Africa. I'm from the best place on earth, literally. I'm a proud motherfucker when it comes to my people. You know what I'm saying? So with that pride, you can't sit there and tell me that I'm not beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And I just want that to be a reality for Black people. Like, at this point, that has to be where you at. Otherwise, it's going to be 10 times harder than it needs to be. Like, you're beautiful. And if he particularly likes the lighter skinned sisters, then shit. You know what I'm saying?
He said that shit.
The part of this that has me going is someone said that Nick Cannon has a breeding kink and nobody wants to talk about it.
That's not that, a breeding kink.
Yeah.
Why does it sound so vulgar? Like, what the fuck?
It was the way they said it.
Well, at least it wasn't hot sauce.
Like, making it sound
go sit in the corner.
I think if that was true, that would have started a long time ago.
Drake trying to make sure he's not having another child that looks more like his mother than himself. You know what I mean? Like, he's just trying to make sure.
I'm sick of Nick Cannon. I'm tired of all these babies he's having. I think it's very funky. I think it's annoying. I'm getting tired of him. I wish he would reveal that he has lupus or whatever the fuck he has.
Yo.
I wish he would.
He been said that he had lupus some years ago.
He grazed over it, but it was really Azalea Banks that told everybody when she was upset.
Yeah.
He had lupus.
Also, to tap back into this light dark thing, I mean, you have self-love, yes. But I'm just going to pinpoint a fact that a lot of men that reach the industry usually don't pick the brown skin women.
I will agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because a lot of men will say, I don't find white women attractive. I don't find this kind of woman attractive. But yet somehow, every time a Black dude is a rapper or something makes it real big, you see the girls that he's around are those quote unquote exotic and those white girls. I said, and this is what's happening to Nick Cannon. I'm like, Nick Cannon has never, I don't even know when the last time I seen him with a brown skin girl except for in the movies.
Oh, the darkest skinned woman that I could think of on the top of my head that I could ever recall seeing Nick Cannon with is Christina Milian.
Now I'm about to say, Milian. Yeah,
but you have to pay attention to the brown skinned women that he does date, because when he dated Chili, she wanted kids and he didn't want to have kids with her.
And now he got too many.
But Chili is not really a black brown.
That,
you know what I mean? You know
When
what
he
I'm talking
Echo.
dated that other model, I forgot her name. Her name is something white. She's brown skinned too. She
I don't
was
see
one
nobody
that
with no Serena Williams.
right. But the darkest women that he dated, he didn't want to have kids with them, and they wanted to have kids with him. So I find it strange
But
that he's having kids with all these light skinned, white
Right.
skinned women,
Oh,
but didn't
but
want to have kids with the darker women.
he didn't want kids back then. Like even with him, when him and Mariah finally had, like, I didn't even think they was gonna ever get, like, have kids. So that was like, and even after they had their kid, like, he didn't have kids for a long time. And I think once he got, realized he was, I'm not gonna say like, that whatever he has going on, all of a sudden now he's opened the floodgates of like children. Because I think he want to at least leave his, like, his money or whatever he has, like, down to his kids and stuff. So he don't want to have, like, no
But he's
legacy or
stretching
anything
that
like
money
that.
thin though with all the damn kids.
like how much money he have? Because he's acting like he.
Like he,
Well, he
like
said that because he has lupus, he wants to, and he may die tomorrow or next month. He wants to have enough kids to where he can leave a long legacy. But in my opinion, I feel like since you could be dead the next day or the next month, isn't that kind of fucked up for you to have all these children that won't have a father maybe by the end of the
Okay.
year?
And he said
Right.
that
Thank you.
like the beginning
Thank
of
you.
last.
yeah.
I'm like, when you gonna croak?
He said, "When you gonna croak?" Hey, bro.
Because I remember back in
You ain't
20, it
shit.
was either 2013 or 20, it might have been between 2013 and 2015 where he was really, really sick to the point where the public thought that he wouldn't make it. And then he finally came back out into the public when Tamar and Vince had a big house party or something like that. And he took a picture with them, and that was the first time that he came back out into the public. But
It's that echo.
something like that could happen to him again, and I'm like, okay, since you know that, why do you keep creating all of these children that could not have a father soon?
Okay,
That's weird. And then you're
being
passing
a
down bad genes because lupus is hereditary.
That's
Oh
why
Lord.
I don't believe
Shit.
that thing about him talking about I can go anytime. I'm like, no, you're just being nasty.
Mm.
Just like
I
me.
did say I
Breeding
think it's
kink.
an excuse to fuck a lot of bitches.
Breeding kink.
So it doesn't matter. So y'all think it doesn't matter that he can afford to have these children?
No.
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 You can't afford to
Interesting.
spend quality time with all those children. Nobody
Interesting.
cares if you can afford to pay for them. Can you afford to be there for those 8-9 children that are scattered all over the place?
And
Like
the
most.
mamas ain't gonna be bonded as a unit
Mm-hmm.
unless they living in a big old, orgy house with him.
Because
I
first
don't
of all,
know.
Because
Mariah Carey's gonna take most of that money.
there's a lot of people, but there's a lot of people. There's a
But
lot of people that have that mindset that because he can afford to have them, that he can have them.
Exactly.
A lot of people have that mindset.
And I get into a lot of arguments with people about that.
Right.
Yeah.
And what
Specifically
people
with Future.
exactly. And what
Oh,
people
Future, come on, man. Future just trifling. He don't even try. Future don't even clean up after himself. He just do shit and just run the streets. Like
you know what Future does? You know what Future does, Mark? He pees in your toilet, he leaves it there and doesn't apologize.
He also doesn't pull the he also doesn't pull the toilet seat
Sensational.
down. He just
at least he's honest. He ain't gonna take care of them kids. That's the only honesty he giving them. So if
I'm
you
just
choose to
being
have a kid
honest.
by
But I mean,
Future,
like that.
your
But that
kid.
don't make you better. It's like, oh yeah, hey, I killed dogs. I'm proud of that. Okay, thank you for sharing that. But like, you're still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
So
thank you for
these
sharing
women
that,
that
though.
choose
Thank
to
you.
like still have Future's baby,
They're
I'd be like,
pieces of
what?
shit too.
And then act
You
all
know
dumb.
that,
Oh,
right. I
Future's
was about to
not
say
gonna be with
because
Oh,
you got these women out here who are as dense as a doorknob in Summer Walker, just bending over, not
Mm?
thinking. Then when they have a
Yo,
baby, they're
don't
like,
talk
"Oh, we
about
get this."
Goro. Don't talk about Goro.
Yo, we gonna talk
Yo,
about
you
we
gonna
gonna talk
talk
about
about
Goro.
Goro.
We gonna talk about Goro
I scream.
because
Ray,
girls
I
just be
want
as
you to
dumb as
know
she
Did I
is.
miss
when I
something?
saw that
Did I
shit.
miss
You
something?
ain't see that haircut she got?
No,
That joint
when I
smacking
saw
like
that
Goro,
shit, I fucking screamed when I saw the
bro,
Goro.
I think she's
bro.
going through some mental health
But that's what I'm
needs.
saying.
Like,
She crazy. She crazy.
No, she has anxiety.
She crazy. I've
No,
been
stop.
saying this.
If that's
She
what
may do
if
have
that's what
anxiety.
anxiety gonna be doing to folks, they need to go ahead open back up society real quick.
Okay,
'Cause-
because I'm about to
Nah,
look.
she was like that in public. You seen that picture when she was in public?
That's
Over
what I'm
there
about to say.
standing in
She
detention.
she she
yes,
ain't
but I'm
she
saying
ain't
you see,
smart.
said
She
she has
dumb.
anxiety. That's why like because anxiety after anxiety comes depression. After depression is whatever. But if that's what anxiety got us looking like during this COVID season, they need to go ahead, open up everybody's business back up, open up these clubs wide open, take these masks off, let people go back into society normal.
The thing
Cause
is, though, they're living their life normal. Their asses be out here with no mask on, doing the most.
Yeah, I was in Florida. I barely saw anybody with masks. I
Oh,
was
first,
in
and
Florida.
you can't
Ray,
even
why is it?
you can't even get mad at Florida because look, at this point, Florida, they just be meeting up by the beach. They have yoga sessions. They be like 13 of them just
Yeah,
doing nothing. Mask off. Man, they ain't worried about that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Florida
with the
literally does what the
with
fuck
the
it
least
wants.
cases.
bro.
They
What's
don't care
wrong with
about none of
talented
that.
people nowadays, bro? Y'all ever notice like people with really, really, really good talent just be getting caught the fuck up?
Because you
They're
can't have it
bored.
all. You can't have it
They're
all, bro.
bored.
You can't be
They're
talented and
All that
smart in
talent.
today's age.
You know
You can't
what?
be smart and
You know
talented.
what, Ray? Yo, Ray. In
they're bored.
Tekken 5, Wong Jinray has a win quote that says all that talent while he walks away sadly. That's me right now. I'm that old man walking away watching these people and I'm like, all that motherfucking talent. And this is what you do to me. I still haven't
Yeah.
forgiven Asian Doll for that motherfucking
Please don't talk about
Bollywood
Asian
shit
Doll.
that she
Oh
did.
my god.
That shit still hurts me because I
Oh
love
my
Asian
god.
Doll. I love Asian Doll, but she is
She gets on my
God
damn
bless her.
nerves.
God bless her. But
You know what's funny?
damn.
When it comes to Summer Walker, a lot of the fans say, you know what? I just like her music, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
you know what's crazy? I don't really care for her. Like her, I barely listen. I don't even know that many like of
Let
her
me tell you
songs. So I
something.
can't even
I
say, "Oh,
still
I'm
need
a
to
big
listen to
Summer
that
Walker
second
fan."
album.
I listened to Come Through like 10 million times. That song is my shit. The fact that she took Usher's song, put him in the song, and remixed it, and then at the end of the song, he was singing the original song as it was in. Bruh! Like this, like that shit impressed the fuck out of me. But she's a bonehead. She's a poopy head, and I have to accept that.
Did you just say poopy head?
My nigga is
She's a fucking poopy head.
She do, man.
I can't
Because
even.
why are you
Oh
doing
my
this?
god!
I'm just tired of
Why
looking
are
at
you
her.
doing this? I can't play Mortal Kombat the same anymore now, bruh. I
Yeah,
can't play.
do
I'm
that.
gonna play Goro, and then I'm gonna be listening to fucking
But she looked like
Potential.
she got alopecia or something because it was
I'm
just a
sorry,
spotty
what?
I mean,
haircut.
okay, but even then, like, there's
What did
ways
you
you can
say?
make yourself cute
You
with all
said
the
she
money in
got
the
what?
world.
I
Alopecia.
thought she had alopecia or something because it was like if you
You
just
know,
gonna shave it down, like it should just
no,
be a
I'm not.
natural, shape.
She wants to look
It was giving
edgy,
very
Oh,
spotty.
y'all.
I'm
ooh.
not
Leave
judging
her
her. Like,
alone.
I'm
Oh,
not.
Edgy.
I'm
I
not
just
judging
saw a
her.
photo. I
It's
just
her
saw what
life.
y'all was talking
She's a
about.
mother,
I had to
but
look up pictures of this
you know,
hairstyle. Oh,
it
It
was
wouldn't
ooh,
have
just
looked so bad if she was like if her bald head
ooh.
was clean. It looks spotty.
Yeah.
nah,
Like
bro. They
That
if
said
you
she looked
Mhm.
like
if you want to
Goro.
shave your head off like that, make sure that the bald head is clean, like and
Is
smooth. Don't have all them
I
little
don't.
thank you.
spotty.
And I felt like that was a lace top. Like it was just giving very much all.
I don't.
Bro, I don't think
You
y'all
guys are
Yeah,
messing with
understand.
no
her heart.
sane, no sane woman will. Yeah, there's something going on there.
These
No sane woman
motherfuckers,
will willingly do that to
bro,
her head,
these
bro.
motherfuckers said that she looked like Goro. That is different.
She
No, bro.
I think the
see.
baby
I would
mama
have.
went off
I would have
though. I
said
was like,
Shiva.
that was just too much. Like she's really going through something, and like instead of like she
Oh
might
my
need
goodness.
her management team or whoever supposed to be her team and stuff need to really check up on her, and might have
No,
to
the reason why they couldn't stop her
I
from doing
mean,
that hairstyle is because she was in the bathroom and just shaved it off. They didn't even see that coming. She did that in the bathroom. There's no
That
way
means
she
she
could
yeah,
tell
takes
that's
from
care
all
of
I'm
a lot of
saying.
anybody
people.
from
Her,
doing
she
that.
might have people around her trying to help her, and she could just be ignoring the motherfuckers.
Yeah. I guarantee
Yeah,
you
that means you
somebody
can't
was
keep her
like
eyes off
sitting
her.
in her living room. They
And
was
she
sitting there,
had
you know what I'm saying, drinking and getting ready, you know, doing whatever. She said, I'll be back, went to the bathroom, shaved her fucking head, and came back out the bathroom. Nobody knew what to
and
do with that.
and she's like certain things. I think a lot of times, like as parents, they seem to like fail to forget they still have like a child that still needs to like function in this world. Like if these things right here are not screaming green light, oh everything's okay. So like you're already fighting with your baby daddy in
Oh,
regards
well.
to like your child. So
She
it's like
shouldn't have wore that FUBU shirt. Nah, that shit went downhill.
it's
Fuck
like
it.
girl, like are we now we're questioning like it's because people was already questioning her parenting skill because she was feeding her kids like grass or something, like not enough nutrition. So it's like then you have this going on, and it's like what's going on? Like
She feeding her kids
I don't think
tree
she's a good
stars
mother.
from Land
Something
Before
tells me
Time.
she's not the best, and I don't care about no fucking pictures.
yeah, I think something's really going on, and like her team needs to like really like sit down and talk to her, or like get her a therapist that walks around with her and like
How are you feeling today, Summer?
I need some dick. I need some love.
No,
it's
she's
a
gonna be
lot
like
like
patty cake. Like she's gonna be looking real dumb.
even K Michelle, I think one time broke down. Like she ain't broke down like that, but she
Man,
broke
that's because
down.
K
No,
Michelle
K
need to stop
Michelle's
walking
broken.
and
K
K
Michelle is
Michelle
No,
broken.
K Michelle, she needs Jesus.
She
K
is
Michelle need to
broken.
stop walking in people's studios and screaming. She gotta stop that.
God bless you, K Michelle. I just want to wish you good wishings and just keep prayers in your heart. Okay, just pray. You'll be all right. Just put your trust in the good Lord and good melanated black Jesus, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Any last words before we move on to our final thoughts?
Yeah. Poopy heads, man.
God bless Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. That's my
Yeah,
Man,
God bless.
Rihanna be
ASAP
lying like
Rocky.
shit.
I co-sign that.
Pregnant.
100%.
That baby is about to be the most beautiful thing.
Man, listen.
You know
Fuck the
what's so
haters.
crazy? With
Genetic.
Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, like, she finally revealing her pregnancy like we didn't already know.
Yeah, like I
I'm
already
not
knew.
pregnant,
First of
y'all.
all,
I'm not pregnant. Like, yeah, you are.
I don't know why they kind of like made it that big a deal. We kind of already knew, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we all
Yeah.
kind of knew, but
Yeah, like
they were like trying
rumors
to
and like
hide it.
pictures of her had been out for a while, like when she was like earlier in her pregnancy. Like she's still kind of early, but
Rihanna has, since she's, been hiding her pregnancy, she's been outside more than I've ever seen Rihanna outside. Like back in the days, you barely see Rihanna outside, but ever since, this girl be outside all the time. And I'm like, damn, why do we see you this much? Like, it used to be like, you'll randomly spot Rihanna somewhere, and it'll just be a shock,
that's primarily just due to her hanging with ASAP. That's her just being out with her man.
I
Like
always seen her
But
out.
she's
Like,
been
I
in a
don't know,
relationship
maybe
a lot. Like it's not like this is her first relate. Like Rihanna been, even when she was with Chris Brown, she wasn't outside this much.
I
Even when she
remember her
was
seeing
with
her
Drake, she
out a
wasn't
lot though.
outside
She
this
just be
much.
deleting posts, but she be out. People just be catching her. She be out. She be trying to play a little slick, but she be out.
I
She be
think
violent.
she
Yeah,
just
but
don't care no
how's she
more.
getting caught this much? Like Rihanna ain't never been caught this much. Like girl,
I feel
I
like
think
she just
she
don't want to
just
hide no
don't
more.
care
She just
anymore.
tired. Yeah, I feel like she just don't care.
Well, also
she wasn't
too,
listening.
Rihanna is not touring. Remember, she used to be out of the country a lot,
Right.
and she was filming movies. And plus, this is the longest Rihanna has just stayed in New York and LA. Like usually, she's all over the place, but she's always like she lives in New York with ASAP. So I think it's because she's just like running
Wayne, I
Soho.
just want to point out the fact that we ain't never gonna get no music out this woman ever again.
Okay,
I've been saying that for like 10 years.
Y'all act like people was dying to have a Rihanna album like crazy.
They
back then.
were.
What?
They were.
Every year.
I
Every
have every
year.
Rihanna album.
Rihanna, when you dropping an album?
bro, for the past like 4
Pe-
years, it's
people
been the
wanted
same
her stuff.
revisited
So,
shit.
yeah. Oh, you tripping? Wait a
Like
minute.
Wow.
they
No.
always
Wait
begging
a
Rihanna for an
minute.
album. They stay begging, and she keeps
And
teasing them
watch
too,
the
because
moment
she
she put
know.
out an album, people gonna have something to say about her singing skills or her something, the way
Nah,
she
it's gonna
did
be
this, the way she did that. They're gonna like, yeah, I'll be loving these little features and stuff, but like her first album, people had so much to say. It was like the album she had, I think the Good Girl Turned Bad, that was a good album. But it was like they used to be dogging her back then, and it's like now she hasn't been putting out like, albums and stuff, but like her features are good. But people wasn't screaming for Rihanna albums like heavy, and it's like once she don't put them out, then it's like, oh, we all want her back and want her to give us music and stuff. But they wasn't screaming for it. Like she had a great fan base because she's a good person. She
I
has like
don't know. People been fucking with her since 2000, like early 2000s, yo. Like I don't know. When
Like
she first came out, people
I,
were fucking with her heavy. She
her
was
first
she
album, Music of the
always
Sun, that was like 2000, and I want to say 3.
No,
no
2005.
Oh,
5.
no,
5. That was
they
05.
they
man.
used to
I'm
pin
trying to
her
tell
against
you.
I was in high
Beyonce
school
all
when
the.
Rihanna debuted.
Yeah, same.
Damn.
They used to pin her against Beyonce all the time when she was
My
freshly
bad.
out.
My bad.
I heard that. I heard that.
My bad. My bad.
Hit me with the Kevin
Fuck
Hart.
y'all.
Damn.
Fuck y'all. Yeah, we old. So what?
My bad. My bad. Gotta
We
go,
love
man. Gotta
y'all. We
go.
love
Gotta
y'all.
go. My bad. My bad.
We love you.
But yeah, it's like people been asking for Rihanna every year. I see anytime I go on to Rihanna's like Instagram, someone in there. When we getting a new album? When we getting a new album?
No
But
bullshit.
So
that is now, like now people are missing her. But I remember when she was out there, her and Beyonce was out around the same, like, and everything. People used to like dog Rihanna, like, saying she don't sound like Beyonce or Beyonce has better performance, this and that. And then it's like, once somebody doesn't give you what you want all the time, now y'all like starting to sing her graces. But I understand Rihanna might be afraid because people are vicious. Like y'all might be missing her, and then she give y'all album, y'all gonna be like, oh, like why it sound like this? Like why it's not
But
giving this? What?
her anti album
Hey,
was good.
I always like Rihanna over Beyonce. I'm not even gonna. Yeah,
The only thing that I
I'm
remember
not even
people
gonna
saying
pretend.
back then was like when Rihanna and Beyonce would be like performing at the same thing, Rihanna would suddenly like be fake sick or something and try to like slip away. People used to say she was scared. Now I don't know if she was or wasn't. I don't know her, but I'm just saying like that's the only thing that I remember people saying. Like
Man, even with like
Beyonce's
That
debuting
sounds
for
like
the
rumors to
cookout.
me, but whatever.
Right,
no,
that's what I'm
they used to
saying.
say
Like
Rihanna couldn't sing, Sierra can't sing.
It was a
Like
man.
it used
I
to be
remember the
so
Yeah,
man.
I
I
was
bad.
about
remember
to
the
say, who
man,
started
John.
that shit about Sierra really being a dude? What?
Bruh,
Where'd that come from?
that shit came back way back when Bow Wow was fucking with Sierra.
during goodies, during
Yeah.
goodies.
Like
And I
people
think
were
people
just like
really
Bow fucking
started
a
to
dude.
like after the whole domestic violence thing happened with Chris Brown. People really started to like Rihanna and like
Well, she
stop
went
being
dark.
like
Yeah,
yeah
I'm about
like
to say
stop
she
like
went
she
to the
stopped caring.
She
Or
was
they say
doing all
she
that.
can't. She don't have to. She don't know how to like Oh, I guess she wasn't like fit. Like some artists can like dance and do all that stuff, but like her performance was always great. I ain't gonna lie, she can outperform, like really well. Like if you ever watch one of her concerts and stuff, she's really good at it. I'm like, but people used to be so heartless to Rihanna back in the days. Like,
They did. But she always had a big fan base, so that's
Yeah, she had
why
a big fan
it
mhm.
base.
don't
That's what I'm
even
saying.
matter.
Like,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, she might not be no Beyonce or Adele, but bitch, guess what? She looked better in clothes than them.
And she was
She's more
such a good. Like
stylish.
she had a
Hey,
genuine
don't be
good
talking about
heart.
Lizzo
Like,
like that, man. Lizzo and Rihanna could wear the same clothes and it's all good.
Who?
Lizzo and Rihanna, they could wear the same fit and
Shut
it'd
the
be
fuck up,
good.
Marciano.
Okay,
I think you really do have a fetish for big girls.
Not anymore.
He
I'm
does.
retired. I'm retired.
okay. Someone's trying to take Q's place as the recharge, but anyway.
I'm retired though.
Okay, all right. On to our final thoughts, and Jasmine, you know how final thoughts. I explained to you how final thoughts work, so you know how it works, right?
Hmm?
Jasmine.
What was that music?
Say that again, Ray.
I say, you know, I remember, blah. You know how Final Thoughts work, right?
No.
Okay, basically, this is the last part of the show, and you can say anything you want. It could be either on the topic or off topic, just whatever you want. And since you're new, we're going to start with you.
We're gonna start with me.
Yeah, I do this to everybody that comes in new. So.
I'm about to say, pass me this time.
If you ain't got nothing, you just say.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
Okay. Mark, it's on you.
So what you gonna do? Hey man, final thoughts. Don't worry about Cosmopolitan, man. Nobody reads them anyway. Nobody reads that shit.
Damn.
Don't worry about that.
All right, Xavier, it's on you.
Being gay is not a choice. You can't make someone gay. Leave my girl Whoopi Goldberg alone. She said what she said, and what she said was right and it was true. Bye Lizzo. Bye Summer Walker. And I'm forgetting some of the other stuff we were talking about. And good night.
By Nick Cannon.
Oh yes, and by Nick Cannon.
Damn.
Material Life is on you.
My final thoughts is gonna probably be on let's stop, generalizing everything, or just being annoying, if that's even normal. Let's stop being annoying, or creating this fear now in society that's just not normal. Let's just stop being abnormal.
That's it?
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Crystal was on you.
Wait. And also Nicki Minaj, new song with Lil Baby just came out. So if you ain't go watch it, go watch it.
Lil Baby ugly as shit.
Damn.
Wait, what you said?
He said Lil Baby ugly as shit.
Yeah, he go rap.
That is true. But
yo.
Oh, and Kevin Samuels, Nicki Minaj is a 10, not a 9. Thank you.
She rated herself a 7.
She wanted to be humble. She wanted to come
exactly.
on humble.
Okay, I just want you to. She rated herself. She rated
but
herself.
But Nikki she's told everybody the things that she don't like about her looks and stuff, and her her personality. She's like.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's the 10 in this world, because ain't nobody perfect. So
he said Rihanna. He said Beyonce is an 8, Kelly Rowland's a 9, and Rihanna, even with that big ass 4, is a 10. That's what he says.
Aaliyah was a 10. If she was still alive, she would have been on 11.
Is it weird? Do all the cute girls got big foreheads?
Because they got.
That's what father be saying. That's what father be saying.
Let me tell you something about black women with big foreheads. There's nothing but blessings in there. It's nothing but God's intended blessings on whoever has the honor of having that in their life. So yeah, I'm sticking to it.
All right, Crystal was on you.
All right. Basically, I just want to say, protect your peace. I think that once money or the fact that you have love for someone can buy your peace or your morale, you do not hold integrity anymore. If you do not hold integrity beyond what you identify as what represents you as a person, you can be bought for a particular price. So you should not get upset if someone treats you like a fucking slave. Or not value you as a person because you have sold yourself. Selling yourself is selling your peace and integrity, leaving you hollow and bitter. When you can't deal with it, do you want to buy it back your sanity for with $1? When your mind should have been first started to know that you cannot be bought. Your spirit cannot be bought, period, or your peace. Individualism damn sure can't be bought by trends. You are treated how you tell the world to treat you, and shouldn't get angry when people treat you how you taught them to treat you. And people need to leave Rihanna pregnancy alone. She is not a so-called baby mama. This woman owns a billionaire company and has had A$AP Rocky as a friend for years versus a fucking baby mama who is quick to open her fucking legs. Yeah, I'm cursing. Up for a man because he has bought her a drink at a club for less than 12 fucking bucks. Leave Rihanna alone and stop labeling her with stereotypical low vibrational black woman fuckery. Rihanna is in her actions a motherfucking queen, and she should be treated as such because she has shown the world she is a motherfucking queen. Yeah, a motherfucking queen. Time and time again. Thank you and God bless.
How you doing? Exactly.
Here.
All that.
I love you,
I take
Crystal. You're the best.
Someone chose violence
That
this
was
evening.
That was some poetry.
I see you had. I see you had your chef hat on today, Crystal. You over
I'm
here cooking.
saying, cooking.
Hey,
I'm in there,
chose
kid.
violence.
Man, I feel sorry for the person who has to follow that, D Wolf.
You ain't shit.
It's my turn, though. I guess I deserve it. I deserve it. I did that twice in a row, so. All right, two things. The last one's gonna be directed at you, Ray. But the first thing is
Oh shit.
the first thing is a shout out to someone who I normally disagree with. This person, she's normally she's one of those feminists. She's one of those people that's putting this wokeism in our movies and shit like that. But at least I can say that she was consistent. I don't know if it's because of her people. Maybe they don't get enough news, or they don't pay enough attention to politicians or stuff like that. But at least she understands the concept of my body, my choice. So shout out to her and her people in Canada, the 50,000 truckers that's been protesting out there. And she had the balls to go against the Hollywood narrative and all that shit to protest the mandates. And also, the 50,000 truckers, 90% of them are fucking vaccinated. So that should tell you that this isn't about getting vaccinated. It's about the mandates. That's what people have a problem with. But they like to, the controllers, they like to mix things up and cause division and all that shit and make it about everybody's anti-vax this, anti-vax that. All that bullshit. So that's number one. Number two, Ray, you need to invest in a fucking soundboard of some kind because your drops are fucking funny. So you need to do this at a professional level because we need to hear that, son. Like, remember when I said last time, like probably a few episodes ago, like with like Howard Stern and Adam Carolla, where they have that guy pressing the soundboard for the funny shit they be dropping, because everything you say, every time we say something, and you either sing a song or something like it hits, yo. You need to invest in that straight up. And that's
I'll try to invest in. Please, I'll try to invest in. I'll try to invest in the soundboard. Dion's on you.
Brock Lesnar being in the Royal Rumble was a waste of a slot. That's it.
Oh, we having this conversation. All right, I'm ready.
Hey, Father, did not call it though. Did not call it.
Let's go. Say it
Go
again,
ahead,
Dion, for the people in the back.
Brock Lesnar being in the Royal Rumble was a waste of a slot. Especially if they were just going to turn around and throw him in the fucking elimination chamber right after anyway.
You do have a point. I will kind of agree, but the only reason why I kind of agree is because of the way Big E lost the championship. Because I feel like Big E should have won this year's Royal Rumble. He would have been the perfect person to win the Royal Rumble this year. But apparently they said they were going to give it to Riddle. So I'm like, oh, okay. I can kind of get behind Riddle winning the Royal Rumble,
but then why didn't it go to Riddle?
Because what's it called? Brock Lesnar came in and won the match. It's Brock Lesnar we talking about.
I'm starting to feel towards Brock Lesnar how a lot of people was feeling towards John Cena.
But the plan was always going to be Brock versus Roman. That was always the plan.
I get that, but there's different and way better ways they could have done it.
Bruh, yo,
What are we talking about?
Bruh, this is the fucking WWE. What the hell did you expect?
I wasn't expecting perfection, but they could have done something a lot the fuck better than what they got going on the fuck now.
Expecting. I keep telling you Negroes this every time y'all watch WWE. Stop expecting. You're gonna hurt yourself. This company is stupid. They're not gonna care about what makes sense. They paid big money for certain people, so those certain people need to. Bruh, Ronda Rousey came back after how long, and she won the Royal Rumble. Asuka wasn't even there.
My baby.
That I didn't particularly mind. Ronda Rousey, I didn't particularly mind. It was just, that was a neat little surprise. That's all I thought about that.
And anyway, speaking of that, the women's Royal Rumble was like 100 times better than the men's. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, the men's Rumble was trash.
Yeah, it was
men's Royal Rumble was trash. You know how I know it was trash? Kofi botched his fucking Royal Rumble spot. That's how I knew it was trash.
I don't even care about Kofi and his weird Royal Rumble saves anymore. Until at least him actually winning a Royal Rumble, I don't care.
But man, I really wanted Big E to win that Royal Rumble. I really, really, really wanted Big E to win that Royal Rumble.
I think he'll get his day. Probably next Royal Rumble, depending on how they build him. But is that it, Dion?
Yeah.
Father is on you.
Damn, that's on me already. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Damn. I guess the one thing that I want to say is, right now is Black History Month, so I just want to reiterate that Black History Month is for Black people. Earlier, there was a conversation by certain individuals that were trying to say that Black History Month should stay specifically for Black Americans, like, of course, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, and the like, which is cool, which is understandable. But the entire point of Black History Month is to highlight Black history, period. That's not something you can gatekeep from the rest of the people that may have seen someone like a Harriet Tubman or a Ida B. Wells as inspirations from other countries. Because there's
a lot more to Black history than American history. So
we have but what I'm saying is we have a consciousness that runs just beyond America. So Black history should encapsulate all of that. I don't particularly believe that just because I'm from Africa or someone is from the Caribbean doesn't mean that they cannot resonate with any of the Black Americans who sacrificed their lives to ensure that their people go to a better position here. But I think people particularly miss the conversation when they try to make it an individual thing. And when you do that, you make it that much easier for false narratives to creep behind. And now people are missing the point of Black history in the first place. Black history is supposed to educate, not just from a history perspective, but from a spiritual perspective as well. Because we are a people of rhythm and spirit, no matter where you go. You know what I'm saying? So
they're saying we should. So they're trying to tell us that we should cancel out what Nelson Mandela did for for history. We should also cancel out what Toussaint Louverture did for Black history because they're not part of Black American history.
Yeah, at least that's like the conversation that I saw.
Sounds. Did that come from a white person? Please
no.
Don't tell me it was a Black person.
It came from Black people.
Black people, how are you trying to ruin Black people?
Now, you want to know what's interesting? The fact that you originally thought that it was white people doing that. Ain't that something?
Why Black people always trying to kill Black people? Like, we always trying to remove Black people from Black people.
I mean, this is what happens when the enemy literally destroys your subconscious from the inside out. Now you're running around and you don't know who the fuck you are. So you try to create false narratives in order to compensate for what you're lacking within.
Thank you.
Well,
It's
we
an
don't even need another
overcompensation.
race to ruin us. We can do it ourselves, child.
Yeah,
We
but
don't need no.
but the thing is, there's people with sense out there, so of course they're not gonna fall for that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's black people out here, they're gonna celebrate everybody motherfucking black, because that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So that particular conversation can go to hell. I think that, everybody should learn from everybody. And yeah, I think that those are my final thoughts.
First things first, Anthony Hamilton and Music Soul Child is going to be having a versus, so I'm trying to get my struggle beard in check. And all that other stuff. I'm going to make sure I have me a good quality struggle beard. Second of all,
what's the date for that?
I think it's Valentine. It's either Valentine's Day or the day after Valentine's Day.
Congratulations, Ray, for finally coming back.
Oh yeah, I finally done a video, and I had to do a review on Bill Cosby. You know what's funny? My original video was celebrities that I would like to get pregnant or strip club etiquette. Thus was I was, and I will still do those videos, but they will be on a later at a later date.
You got to do that next time you go back to Ebony M, bro.
I haven't been to the Ebony in a minute.
I should have went that night with you, bro, but I was just like,
oh shoot! And also, as Material Life said, I just did a video or review on me watching We Need to Talk About Bill Cosby. And the next video I'm going to be doing is about the Janet Jackson docuseries, because I'm interested in that.
I heard it was good.
I heard it was good too, but I'm real interested. I know Proud Family
released a new song behind that too.
Oh, that's great. I know Proud Family is supposed to be coming out this month. I'm definitely excited about that. And
I was, but now I'm not.
Why?
Why?
What happened?
It's only like 2 years ahead.
Oh,
damn!
I get it. She's still a teenager.
Yeah, like I really thought she would at least be in college, and I was just like,
they
so
doing that Incredibles again. They doing the Incredibles again.
Okay,
it's only been a little while. It's been actual years.
A year. It was literally a year.
They must be on space time because they moving real. Like they is not moving fast.
Damn.
I didn't even know that.
Them girls is about 10 years old at this point. They still sitting in like, how slow can you be to not be graduated yet?
Hey, but don't forget to watch that Demi Lovato docu-series on YouTube.
Ain't nobody watching that.
So what about her speaking to aliens?
No,
was the one where she was doing drugs?
Yeah, the one where she was like, I'm not doing drugs anymore. Before the second episode came out, relapsed. I said, damn.
Bye, Whitney.
No, hold on, X. And this is anybody who watches Euphoria. While they was talking about, they said Zendaya's all right, but this show would have been a lot better if they had Demi Lovato as Rue. I said, bro, they wild.
That's funny.
They wild.
Okay, because she's giving Rue, most definitely.
Yo, shout out to Demi Lovato.
First of all, stop saying her. It's Stay.
I said me. I said Demi Lovato. That's what I said.
I'm not even gonna go there. Good night.
Oh my god. Oh man.
I'm sorry. Ever since Father said that they called it Demi Lovato, that's what I'm calling.
I'm sorry. I just thought it was funny.
It is.
I saw that TikTok video where she broke down the pronouns and mixing them all. Oh my lord.
A mess.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm interested in her talking about aliens. And
well, did y'all hear that somebody got gang rape in the metaverse?
What?
Oh,
Yep.
white woman.
She
Yeah.
she entered the metaverse and 60 people raped her
Yeah.
instantly.
Yo.
You can't even be safe
Wait,
in the metaverse.
wait,
At this point,
wait.
this is ghetto everywhere.
I just realized what you just said. What?
That shit. I was like, damn.
I'm still
If you don't
processing
log
that
out,
myself.
Damn. I
but
saw that
log
earlier
out.
today. That's insane. I was dying.
I don't know. She liked it or something. I don't
She
know.
must have.
She must have.
Six,
I would have
but
logged
60
out.
people
You
though.
could easily
At
cut,
this
you could
point, her
easily cut the
vagina was
internet
falling
off.
off.
You
Like
could easily
60.
cut the internet off and
I know she
left
got
the
bumps.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
I should.
But her avatar looked like a Wii. What's those things in the Wii or the
Mhm.
Xbox? That's how it looked. And they, damn.
Me?
Yeah, me.
They must have been prisoners.
Jesus.
They was coming in here.
Okay.
Over there.
She was Lil Kim, honey.
She was at Pelican Bay. She was over there at Pelican Bay.
In 1992, when the internet was still new, American novelist Neil
Shut up,
Stephenson
shut up.
spoke about virtual
Can you
reality.
shut up?
A virtual
Are we? You know what?
Okay, all right. And on that note, I would go ahead and end that podcast. I'd like to thank Jasmine for jumping on the panel with us. I would also like to thank